If you have an old 401k, get up to 30% upfront and 12% guaranteed growth for income today.
Call 321-4100. That's 321-4100.
Guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Hey, it's Mrs. HVAC. If you're anything like me, a mom, a wife, and maybe a little bit crazy about the air I breathe and the water I drink, then listen up. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing has you in mind with our home wellness check. That's 3 visits a year to make sure your AC is happy, your plumbing isn't plotting against you, and your water isn't secretly weird. We'll even test your water quality because you deserve spa water, not swamp vibes. Let's keep your home sane, even if you're not. Call us today or book online at picturerockscooling.com.
KCUV Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
I said yesterday that the 2 best words in sports, unless, of course, you play in the NFL because there is no Game 7, is Game 7. And Game 7 of the ALCS lived up to the billing.
Harlan, stocky righty, into the motion, the 0-1. Swinging a fly ball, driven deep, right field. Cal Raleigh, he has homered in Game 7. He has stung the Blue Jays yet again. And a silent hush over nearly 50,000 inside Rogers Center. It's a 3-1 Mariners lead.
Because, of course, Cal Raleigh hit a home run in Game 7 of the ALCS, which we'll get to my main point about this whole game. 3-1, Seattle had the lead. 7th inning, 2 on. George Springer, the only guy on that roster that knows anything about the World Series at the plate.
1-0 pitch. Swing and a fly ball. Left field and deep. Arozarena turns. Gone! A Springer dinger. 4-3 Blue Jays in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, I don't know if I like the whole Springer dinger thing. I think that's kind of corny, but whatever. This guy's played in a lot of postseason games in his career. He came up with the Houston Astros when they were building that monster ball club, and has done this a lot. I think that was his 23rd career postseason home run. Won a World Series in 2017. Has been with the Toronto Blue Jays for a number of years now, trying to reduplicate that above the border. So let's go to the 9th inning. Nobody on. Julio Rodriguez at the plate. Rodriguez had homered earlier in the game, trying to keep Seattle's season alive.
Full count, 2 outs, top of the 9th. Game 7 of the ALCS. Hoffman's payoff pitch. He got him! The Blue Jays win the pennant! The Blue Jays win the pennant! They're going to the World Series! It's so good, we must be dreaming!
Exactly. You must be dreaming. It doesn't seem like 1993. That's the last time they've been to the World Series. I remember exactly where I was. I was driving down a road after doing a JC football game in 1993 when Joe Carter, actually I think it was, I'm trying to remember if it was before or after the game, but listening it on the radio, national radio, and Joe Carter hit that home run. I think it was a day game I had done, so I think I'd just gotten done with the game, and I was driving home, like a 3 or 4 hour drive home after the game, after a road game, doing JC football, listening to probably Jack Buck or somebody of that nature call that famous home run by Joe Carter on national radio. So George Springer, probably the second biggest home run in the history of the Toronto Blue Jays. But here's my problem. Here's my problem with what happened last night in the ninth inning. Julio Rodriguez, who again had hit a home run earlier in the contest. And I said this, you might remember we had this conversation earlier this spring. I don't remember exactly what the situation was. I think it was after Arizona softball got eliminated from the NCAA tournament, and there was a situation late where I thought it might have been Dakota Kennedy, as a matter of fact. Dakota Kennedy came up, and she was too aggressive. I thought she should have been a little bit more patient at the plate in the particular situation that she was in. If you're Julio Rodriguez, you have got to take a strike in that situation, especially with a guy by the name of Cal Raleigh on deck, who is maybe one of the greatest power hitters of our time. Now he's got to continue to do it. You know, he's done it in a couple seasons here in Mammothly in this season, so he's got to continue to do it. But the best home run hitter of the season is on deck, and you swung at a 2-0 slider that was not in the strike zone. You cannot do that. That is hitting 101. You got a guy on the mound who, again, and I think it was a very similar situation when I go back to the softball game earlier. It was the second straight day that the pitcher had been in the circle. And in this situation as well, Jeff Hoffman had pitched yesterday, and I think thrown like 35 pitches yesterday. And the first two pitches to Rodriguez are up in the strike zone. You've got to make him throw a strike. He swung at ball 3. He swung at ball 3 to get Hoffman back into that at bat. This is one of the best young hitters in the game. And again, young might be the phrase there, because a young hitter in a situation like that, with the season on the line, hasn't been there enough. Maybe hasn't been there enough. So perhaps I should give him a little bit more grace. But again, and maybe we don't even hang it on him. Maybe that's Dan Wilson's job as the manager of the Seattle Mariners, to make sure his third base coach has a sign to give to Julio Rodriguez that, hey, these first two pitches have been all over the place. Make him put one in the strike zone there. And not only does he strike, or does he swing at ball 3, he ends the season swinging at ball 4. Just unbelievable from one of the best young hitters in the game in that situation. You have got to take a strike and make Hoffman put at least one. All 6 of those pitches, I don't know if you've seen, I tweeted on my, go to my Twitter account. Wow, at David Kelly 1290. I put up the graphic. None of those 6 pitches he threw in that at bat were anywhere close to being a strike. None of them. And you've got the greatest power hitter of the season on deck, who, if you can get him to the plate, is the go-ahead run. I felt so sick for the Seattle Mariners watching them lose that game in that fashion.
My favorite, DK, is the pitches themselves. So Hoffman gets up to Rivas, right?
Yeah.
4-seamer splitter, 4-seamer splitter, slider, 4-seamer. Strikes him out. Robles comes up, splitter, 4-seamer, splitter, 4-seamer, 4-seamer. And then Rodriguez. Slider, 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 slider.
If you got a pitch that works, you got a pitch that works.
I mean, I think he was looking for the 4-seamer. I think he was waiting for the 4-seamer. It just never came.
Mm-hmm. Here, hold on. I gotta go ahead and take a button out of my collar here. It's a little tight around the neck here. And see, we're
not on the runway.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say there, brother?
But we talked about this yesterday, J-Dub, how this is Game 7. Everything's going to be a little bit tighter when it gets to those big moments. And that's one of those moments where Julio Rodriguez knows he is the last out if he doesn't get on base. And at that point, you are swinging in desperation. And albeit it's not a great situation to be in, but at that point, let's be honest with this, DK, they also got to go ahead and play a little bit of what happened in one of the previous at-bats in the last inning, I believe. It was when Eugenio Suarez goes down looking at what he thought was ball 3 on the inside part of the plate. And at that point, he even turns and argues with the umpire saying it was at the same spot last time and you called that a ball. And admittedly, it is darn near at the same spot when he took that strike. Then you look to Julio Rodriguez, then the next half inning, he's knowing everything that's close is likely going to be called. And you're just picking at that point to try and see if I can just get the head of the bat on this, maybe it goes past the first baseline and maybe I can get on base and get myself in position to not just be the tying run, but let Cal be the game-winning run if he can get the homer, if he gets the pitch that he wants. But this game wasn't lost in the 9th or in the 8th. This game was lost in the 7th. Let's not pretend that Dan Wilson's decision to go with Eduardo Bizzardo in that
was
moment.
Was it a Bizzardo decision?
It was a bizarre choice because this is a guy that you would, again, to use the old terminology, you burned him in Game 6. In a game you already lost. There was no winning Game 6 at that point, and you pitched him 2 innings. Why on the great earth that we live on are you bringing him in to pitch to a guy who is in this spot, and he's been in this spot before in Springer? Like you said, he's one of the only guys with championship experience on this roster, and you still have other guys that you can bring in. Andres Munoz is their number 1 closer. He had some 12 strikeouts per 9 innings. He was 1.7 ERA. I don't care that you want to bring in your closer traditionally in the 9th inning. This is the game you bring in your main closer in the 7th or the 8th. Whenever it needs to be where he's got to carry 2 innings, he carries 2 innings. It's a Game 7. Give me a break. It's Game 7. You play your best when they've got their best up. And not only that, DK, there was 1 out in that 7th inning. Why is Brian Wu not intentionally walking Springer after the bunt that moves over the runners to 2nd and 3rd, and then you force Lukes, who was only hitting about a 33 average, and that's only padded by the 3-hit outing he had in Game 2. Why are you not forcing Lukes to have to be the one to carry the ball and get it past the infield? Let that be a double play ball scenario where you can end the inning right there and there's no damage. There's so many decisions that went wrong in the 7th that we don't talk about it, but that needs to be the main thing to be discussed. Yeah, Julio chased a terrible amount of sliders in that at-bat in the 9th, but that 7th inning is egregious. That's up there with pulling Blake Snell in the World Series. That's up there with John McNamara and Bill Buckner. That's up there with some of the worst managerial decisions in baseball's postseason history, and there's been a lot of that.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it was bad. It was definitely bad for the Mariners. If you are a Mariners fan, want to hear from you. 520-848-1290.
They're still sleeping.
520-848-1290.
I mean, you
I
talk
don't know
about.
if there's I don't think the Canadians have gotten to town yet, so I don't know if we got a lot of Blue Jays fans here right now.
I don't believe in curses at all. However, if you're a Mariners fan, I mean, DK, we watched those 90s Mariners teams. Just dominant. 10 wins, 113 wins,
116
whatever.
something.
Just unbelievable talent on those rosters. Couldn't get it done then. This was as close as they've been in such a long time to get into the World Series. Never made it to a World Series. It's rough. That's a rough ending to a season.
It is. It's very tragic. But we've got the World Series now, and it is the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays.
As everybody predicted, right?
An all blue World Series. I mean, this might be the most similar outfits for both of these squads I think we've had in World Series history.
Are those the farthest teams from each other? Well, no, I guess San Diego, right?
Yeah, San Diego would be
pretty
lower,
close,
but it's close enough, yeah.
All right, 520-848-1290 if you want to dive in on that. 520-848-1290. We can talk some ALCS. We never really got around to talking about, because it happened Friday night, what Shohei Ohtani did to end the NLCS. Just crazy, unbelievable performance there. We'll dive into that. as well coming in today. We're going to talk some Arizona volleyball. Anna Heath from the Arizona volleyball team is going to join us on the show later this hour. We'll get her thoughts. They have won 3 in a row. 3 in a row. They're 5-2. Are the ladies in the Big 12 playing well, but they've got a really tough week. They've got to go on the road to Iowa State, which is Thursday night, and then they got to turn around and come back and play here against the best team in the Big 12 right now, Arizona State. The rivalry game, will be on Saturday at McHale Center. So,
it's like, remember when Arizona was the best softball team in the nation?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, ASU
got good.
really good at softball.
Right. Well, they won a national title or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't remember Arizona State being a volleyball school. Let's put it that way.
They have turned themselves into one. They changed their coach. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago now, and ever since then they've actually been really good. Really good. So that's going to be a tough one for the Wildcats, but they'll need your support. So pack the house. We'll talk to Anna Heath coming up about that as well. We'll break down Arizona football, the loss to Houston. I've been watching a ton of tape on that. We'll dive into that, a few of the things I've saw ahead of our conversation with Glenn Howe. That'll be coming up at the 5 o'clock hour, 5:20 as always. We'll break it down with him. Want to hear from you on that. If you've got some new thoughts on Arizona football, 520-848-1290. We'll talk some more baseball as well. We had a couple of plays in our BetMGM network. It is the first night of the NBA tonight. We've got a few games on the docket. We'll dive into that as well. You Arizona Wildcat alums going to be on the court tonight. Here we are again. As one season ends in baseball, another one begins.
Never ends.
In basketball. There you go. It's an endless cycle of athletics and sports here in the world that we live in. Cricket is here as well. She is endlessly every day. Except when she's not here and Dragon Ball does it. Gets you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. Roadwork at Ajo and Kino. Kino and Ajo. Traffic on Ajo Way west of Kino is reduced to 1 lane daily. Also, the eastbound I-10 off-ramp to northbound Kino Parkway and the southbound Kino Parkway on-ramp to eastbound I-10 are closed. There is a detour at a traffic signal on Kino south of I-10. And 66, the overnight low, 89, partly cloudy tomorrow, and 91 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER. Get you out of plumbing danger.
AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall is your premier automotive destination in town. Explore the new 2025 Honda models and extensive collection of pre-owned vehicles. Experience no-hassle financing and our no-haggle one-price selection. Visit AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall today.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/beat.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong, you are fearless, you are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Hello, everybody. Gary, why are you wearing a... Hold on, Ron. Every time Gary walks in here wearing some goofy costume, you always say, Gary, why are you wearing that?
Yeah, but...
And then it turns into some long-winded story about Alaskifications.
Yeah, but...
Then Gary says something ridiculous.
Yeah, but...
And you agree that an Alaskification before winter is the best way to prepare for cold weather.
Yeah, but...
And how Alaskan AC guarantees no breakdowns.
Yeah, but...
And all it does is encourage Gary to walk around wearing a stupid-looking ski mask that no person in his right mind would get caught dead wearing.
Yeah, but he's wearing my ski mask.
Keeping my head protected, just like the Alaskification protects your heater.
My ski mask isn't stupid looking.
Look who's wearing it.
I choose to ignore that remark.
Because you know another one is coming.
Take off that stupid ski mask.
See?
And that's why you should schedule your Alaskification today.
What did we accomplish here?
I'm not sure, but today is a good day to Alaskify. Schedule now at alaskanac.com.
Kick off the savings now at Royal Buick GMC. Save on leases with zero due-at signing and all taxes and fees included. That's right, you pay nothing down. Lease the new Buick Encore GX for $389 a month, the Buick Envision for $489 a month, or the GMC Sierra 1500 for $679 a month. All leases are 36 months with zero due-at signing and all taxes and fees included. Or put $1,000 down and get into a GMC Canyon pickup for $499 a month for 36 months with taxes and fees included. Save big, up to $14,750 off a new GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Crew Cab. OAC must lease with GM Financial. No security deposit. Lease mileage charge of 20 cents per mile over 10,000 miles per year. See dealer for details. B34025, B33964, G8915, G8546. Offers end 11/3/25. Kick off the savings now at Royal Buick GMC in the Tucson Auto Mall or RoyalTucson.com.
We are Casino del Sol. We are more than a casino. We are the moment, the energy, the escape. We are exquisite in every detail, unique in every experience, and unforgettable in every way. From thrilling games to world-class dining, electric nights to luxurious days. We are fun, bold, extraordinary, and we are entirely original. We are the place you never want to leave. We are Casino del Sol. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
George Springer with the big bomb in the ALCS Game 7 to send the Toronto Blue Jays to the World Series. It's always better in French, right?
Une balle au cul de prise à Springer. La balle est frappée seulement en direction du champ gauche. À la piste de l'avertissement. Circuit George Springer.
Sur une jambe et demie, on en parlait. Il va vivre un moment où il va faire la différence malgré le fait qu'il est blessé. Kirk Gibson sort de ce corps. C'est 4-3 pour les Blue Jays. La magie dans le stade.
I think I recognize the Kirk Gibson part in all of that. I'd be interested to know what the reference to Kirk Gibson was. I mean, Kirk Gibson's famed home run came in the World Series, and it wasn't to necessarily win the series, although it did win Game 1 of the World Series. The Dodgers still had to win 3 more games over the Oakland A's in that series. So,
Springer's not injured, right?
Well, yeah,
he did take that ball.
He did take the
that
ball
might
off the
be
knee,
why,
so
yeah.
that could have been it. Although I don't think he was. I never saw him really limping around a whole lot, but
Because Gibson hadn't played in a few games, right?
yeah. I mean, he really limped. He limped up to the plate.
I remember. Everybody remembers. Yeah, he could barely walk.
That was crazy.
That's why you're talking about throwing outside and chasing pitches and that thing about, how that game ended. I was thinking of Kirk Gibson at that exact time. I was thinking of, if a guy can't move himself to first base, just make sure, do whatever it takes. But yeah, French is always better. I was surprised, DK, to find out that Toronto's only like 4%, 5%.
In terms,
French,
it's
French,
mostly Quebec.
Yeah. Quebec is like 94% people.
Most of the French people are in Quebec.
Yeah, Montreal a little bit too. Yeah,
but it's weird because obviously there it's a national. That's the national team. So I think they do. Obviously, they do broadcasts in all of the different languages to get to the entire population of Canada, which is, very similar to what we do here with our national broadcast as well. So. Congratulations to the Toronto Blue Jays. Like I said, there's a lot of leverage or levels, I should say, to my baseball fandom, and I mentioned that one of them obviously was the fact that I covered the Cleveland Indians for a number of years when Mark Shapiro was the GM. Always enjoyed working with Mark. He was always very open with the media. So one of my favorite people in baseball. He's now the president and CEO of the Toronto Blue Jays. So happy for him. And Ross Atkins, the GM there now, who also came up in the Cleveland Indians system in baseball operations, is now the GM with the Blue Jays. So there's a lot of Cleveland levers that are there in Toronto. So happy for those guys who cut their teeth in my city and now have gone on and found success in another city. So I mean, you can go. I mean, again, and that's when you talk about. I mean, when you talk about, I don't think Hazen, Mike Hazen, the Diamondbacks general manager, came up through that Cleveland chain, but Torey Lovullo did. Torey Lovullo played for the Indians in the minor leagues, managed for the Indians in the minor leagues when Mark Shapiro was the general manager there. So there's a number of guys throughout baseball who came up through that Cleveland system of either playing or player development when Mark Shapiro was there that are off leading other organizations now. So it's always great to see that connection and to see those guys have success.
And on the other side of the coin, you've got the long-suffering Dodgers franchise, which seemingly can never do anything successful whatsoever. So good to see David Goliath. Good to see them find their way finally to the mountaintop.
I am incorrect. Mike Hazen. I thought Mike Hazen. Yeah, he did come up in that Cleveland system as well. He was assistant director of professional scouting in 2003, assistant director of player development in 2004, and then he went to the Red Sox when Tito and those guys were there, and eventually worked in that system before coming over to the Diamondbacks. So, hey, it all goes back to Cleveland. Woohoo! At the end of the day.
Always.
520-848-1290. Time now for your BetMGM Network top plays. Now, there's some news there today, too. I don't know if you heard this, but I don't know how much longer we're going to be calling it. Well, I do know. Well, I guess we'll probably only be calling it the BetMGM Network top plays until December the 29th. Because if you did not hear today, some programming news. Cumulus Media, which owns Westwood One, and Odyssey announced that Infinity Sports Network, which you hear for the better part of 21 hours of most days here on Wildcats Radio 1290, has been rebranded as Westwood One Sports. And so that will be the new name of the network beginning on Monday, December the 29th. So Westwood One Sports, so we've gone from CBS Sports Radio to Infinity Sports Network to now what will be known as Westwood One Sports, and it's going to be an encompassment of what you've got now and BetMGM Network, which is a network that actually has programming for 24 hours. We only carry a small amount of that programming on the weekends. I think we carry a 2-hour block. We used to carry BetMGM Network on our sister station, KTUC Freedom 1400, before it was flipped a couple of years ago to a conservative talk station. So at least we carried it on the weekends, I think, primarily. Not the whole network during the week, but we carried it on the weekends.
You're saying American Airlines Arena, PHNX.
Right. There, you hit it on the head, JW. You hit it on the head. So, yeah.
Is it still called Hard Rock Stadium, or is it changed to something else now?
Does Hard Rock exist still?
I don't. They got
can't
rid
keep
of
track.
They got rid of MTV, so I would imagine it wouldn't be.
MTV officially closed down.
Else?
Yeah, last week.
Exactly. So there's going to be some time, and we had mentioned before. Obviously, you hear Rich Eisen on our station right now. That's going to be going away at the end of the year because Rich now is with ESPN. The deal was that we can carry that program until the end of the year. So there was going to be a new program in that the early midday slot at some point in December, beginning of January, anyway. So that's probably going to be some form of the BetMGM network that'll be in there. We don't know what's going to happen to all the other stuff. There's BetMGM Tonight is going to be the evening show, which will cross over with us. That's going to run from 3 to 7 most nights. Or 3 to 8, I'm sorry. So you'll get a few hours of that after us. I don't know what that means for JR Sport Brief or any of that. So we'll let you know.
That's Brad Evans?
Brad. No, that's, BetMGM. Yeah, that is Brad Evans, your guy, Mr. Screamer. Exactly.
Hey, no, I mean, I don't have anything against it. I'm just like, because we're so used to the BetMGM spots not being done by FM DJs. That's all. He sounds different. He sounds different than a lot of the people that do it. That's all.
Right.
Not judging, just saying.
No, not at all. Not at all. And it's the first I mentioned. It's the first night of the NBA. So let's find out what they're giving us for night one of the NBA.
I'm Chelsea Messenger, helping you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. It's opening night in the NBA, and the play of the day is Lakers' Luka Doncic to score 30-plus points against the Warriors. With LeBron James out, Luka will be the main attraction on the offense. He averaged 31 points a game against the Warriors last season, and superstars generally love the spotlight. It's the Lakers' home opener and the marquee game of the night. Bet smarter, beat the books, download the BetMGM app. Please gamble responsibly.
Yeah, well, Chelsea's not a screamer. She's very calm in what she delivers there for BetMGM Network. But we might, up for debate on whether that's the game of the night for tonight's first night. You got the Rockets and the Thunder, the defending champs. I thought might be the game of the night. Luka, though, is going to have to pick up some of that scoring, as you heard her mention. LeBron's not going to be around for a little while. About 30-plus points if you want to go with that bet. Luka Doncic right now, that's the you're not going to win a lot on that, because I think everybody is expecting, at least the books right now are expecting, that Luka will score over 30 points tonight. So that's coming in at 155, minus 155 right now. So your $12.90 bet will get you back just $8.32 on that.
The big thing for that game for me has got to be the duo of Buddy and Butler.
Buddy
Hield and Jimmy Butler for the Warriors. That's going to be an interest. They've already seemed to almost have a buddy cop mentality with the two of them. If you've been watching any of their like preseason videos and all this stuff, that they look like they're having a lot of fun. I'm very interested to see what ends up happening, because we all know Jimmy's a little bit of a loose cannon.
DeAndre Ayton only plays basketball because of Buddy Hield also.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true.
So there's that as well.
Of course, DeAndre Ayton now with the Los Angeles Lakers, so he'll be on the floor tonight. We'll hear some interesting commentary between him, Channing Frye, as well, coming up for you a little bit later. Two more bets on the NBA tonight involving the other game, which could be the game of the night. That's
Before
the Rockets
you
and the
give
Thunder.
those out,
yes,
there is news that J-Dub is not playing because he's still recovering from the wrist.
Oh.
Yeah,
So keep that in mind.
Okay.
The second best player on the Thunder is not playing.
Okay. Well, there you go. Maybe that's why they're saying take the Rockets plus the 7 points tonight.
The Rockets are without their point guard, Fred VanVleet, for the whole season.
Yeah.
So there's also that.
There's a lot of guys that are, I was looking at the list of guys that are just out to start the season. Obviously, the Cavs are going to be without a couple of their guys to start the season. TJ McConnell apparently is hurt.
He got hurt in like pregame game 2, I think.
Yeah, he's not going to be available to start the season for Indiana, so they've got all kinds of guard issues going on there.
Before you give out the lines, one other thing real quick. Ime Udoka, if you're familiar, the Houston coach, he wants to go with 4 bigs. 4 bigs.
Oh, boy. All right. This is going to be interesting.
Oklahoma City's 5 guards, 4 guards and Chet Holmgren versus 4 bigs. So it's going to be weird.
We're going to have to start calling it Ime ball, because we had Nelly ball, which was the small ball
No,
mentality.
he literally said that this week. He said, I invented the Twin Towers. That's what Ime Udoka said. And I'm like, you remember Ralph Sampson and Hakeem Olajuwon?
Yeah,
they kind
that
of did a
was
thing
Rudy
back in the day.
Tomjanovich kind of thing.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Rockets plus 7 over the Thunder at minus 110. So your $12.90 bet there gets you back $11.73. Also, I got a player prop for you tonight on that one. Alperen Sengun, the big man for the Rockets, over 9.5 rebounds tonight at minus 110. So you can get $11.22 on that one.
I would say that would be an easy yes, but Steven Adams also plays for the same team. So
they'll be fighting over the rebounds.
Yes, they will be fighting over the rebounds as teammates.
Apparently the Thunder are a team that gives up rebounds to big men.
They play short.
Good.
I mean, they're a small-handed, small ball kind of team.
Mm-hmm.
They just they're a lot of mid guys, the guys who are 6'5" to 6'7", who can play the 1, can play the 4, and they just mix and match and do a lot of switching pressure defense. But when you go up against a front line with Steven Adams, Kevin Durant, and the aforementioned Sengun, I mean, there's a lot of size and strength on that Houston front line. So it's like I said, completely different, completely polar opposite styles.
So as much as I was yelling about Julio Rodriguez not coming through in the ninth inning, we did win on that bet last night because we did take the under 7.5, and of course the game came in at 4-3. So we did get some money there, but we lost because we also had the Buccaneers last night +6 over the Detroit Lions. Let's hear what Jahmyr Gibbs did to help us become a loser on that bet right there.
Here we go, 1st and 10. Lions in all black, blue helmets moving from right to left. At the 22, shotgun snap, hand off to Gibbs up the middle, the 25, the 30, a foot race to the 40, and the numbers the 50, far side 40, foot race with Winfield, far side 30, 20, 10, sideline 5, touchdown! The Lions have scored on a touchdown run by Jahmyr Gibbs, streaking for 78 yards.
Jahmyr Gibbs comes out of the middle of that defense, untouched, straight to the sideline. Antoine Winfield Jr. had no shot to even get a...
I thought streaking was frowned upon in the NFL.
Yes.
How about 2 Monday nights in a row? We've had a 78-yarder and an 81-yarder. I mean, guys stepping up to the plate. Running backs stepping up to the plate on Monday Night Football. Memories of Bo Jackson taking it to the house.
What year is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're actually starting to run the football a little well now all of a sudden. And no more Monday Night Football doubleheaders. That's it. This is the last one.
Yeah, thank you, because trying to navigate 2 games on 2 different stations is not the easiest thing to do for me. All right, so we lost on that. We're $372.36 in the hole after 120 bets at 50 and 70. DK on the sports tip, 520-848-1290. Arizona Volleyball has a big week on the road at Iowa State, home against Arizona State Saturday at McHale Center. We'll talk to Anna Heath about the Wildcats and their 3-match winning streak at the moment. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. A couple of closures on Glen. Westbound Glen west of Alvernon closed. Westbound Glen west of Campbell closed for road work, so you could use Fort Lowell instead. Also road work on Campbell at Glen. Both directions on Campbell at Glen down to 1 lane. Rush hour backups. Use Mountain Avenue or Tucson Boulevard instead. For your weather, 60-6 the overnight low, 89 partly cloudy tomorrow, and 91 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The slow-roasted Cantina chicken menu is here to stay, with ingredients like purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. Try it today at a participating U.S. Taco Bell location while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Progressive presents a testimonial of sorts.
Hey, slow down! Oh, yeah? Well, you drive like my grandma. She's a very attentive and courteous driver who wears a seatbelt and always uses her turn signals. She's also a talented painter and has very low cholesterol. Not that that has anything to do with her drive. We just thought a more complete picture of who she is might be interesting. Anyway, have a nice day.
Safe driver? Get Snapshot from Progressive and get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Spooky noises coming from your air conditioning system? Then treat yourself to the Right Way $59 Super Tune-Up and shake off the cobwebs from your AC. It's a 42-point inspection designed to maximize your AC unit's efficiency and lifespan with the most comprehensive tune-up in the industry. We'll even remove any built-up dirt, grime, and dust, and do a free carbon monoxide test. Just call Right Way, Southern Arizona's premier heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical company today at 520-640-HOME. Right Way's $59 Super Tune-Up, a scary good deal.
Hey, you! We've got something new in the store.
Well, not really in store. It's in your home, in your office, where you play, wherever you are.
My point, son. We're here. You're there.
Wherever that is.
Tucson Appliance Company is your appliance concierge.
Tell us what you want. We will find it and send you photos, texts, emails, even FaceTime you the appliance. Buy it and we will deliver it. We're your personal appliance shopper.
Only at Tucson Appliance, where our low price is your priority.
From offices and warehouses to retail spaces and restaurants, the right lighting transforms your environment. At Arizona Commercial Lighting, we've been proudly locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years. Our extensive inventory of in-stock lighting solutions is designed to meet both commercial and residential needs, with quality, variety, and value you won't find anywhere else. Visit us at 1436 East 17th Street or explore our offerings online at azcommerciallighting.com. Be sure to ask about available TEP rebates. Arizona Commercial Lighting, powering business through precision lighting.
Wildcat fans, Arizona football tickets are on sale now. Join the party at Arizona Stadium all season long as your Arizona Wildcats take on year 2 in the Big 12. There's nothing better than an Arizona football game day, from the tailgating scene to the action on the field. So bring a friend and get your tickets now by calling 520-621-2287. That's 621-CATS, or by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. And as always, bear down.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step, and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put members' success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
Hey, it's Mrs. HVAC. If you're anything like me, a mom, a wife, and maybe a little bit crazy about the air I breathe and the water I drink, then listen up. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing has you in mind with our home wellness check. That's 3 visits a year to make sure your AC is happy, your plumbing isn't plotting against you, and your water isn't secretly weird. We'll even test your water quality because you deserve spa water, not swamp vibes. Let's keep your home sane, even if you're not. Call us today or book online at picturerockscooling.com.
Tune into Wildcats Radio 1290 weekly for Brett Brennan's Football Press Conference, where you can catch up on all things Arizona football this season. The Football Press Conference, sponsored by Coors Light.
This is Andrew Bogish with a Sports Minute. I don't say this to mock these Seattle Mariners, to kick them when they're down after losing Game 7 last night in Toronto. It's just an observation, and I think a backhanded compliment. It makes no sense that an organization that's had Ken Griffey Jr., Edgar Martinez, Randy Johnson, Ichiro, and now Julio Rodriguez and Cal Raleigh is the only current one without a World Series appearance. Baseball is a cruel, cruel sport. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is our number to get in on the program. Arizona Volleyball has won 3 matches in a row, but a tough week coming up. The final of the 3 straight on the road. They've got to go to Iowa State on Thursday and then turn around and come back and play the rivalry match, the Territorial Cup Series matchup against the first-place team in the Big 12. The Arizona State Sun Devils, Saturday at McHale Center. Should be a fun one. Let's talk some Arizona volleyball. Pleased to be joined by Anna Heath, senior opposite for your Arizona Wildcats. Anna, appreciate you taking some time to join us. 3 consecutive wins, 2 of those coming on the road. Why, in your mind, are things going very well for you guys right now?
Yeah, we've just had some pretty consistent games on our part. Like we're following the scouting report that the coaches give us. We're just being aggressive and we're in a good spot and we're eager to make the tournament this year after just missing out last year. So that's our ultimate goal.
Yeah,
so we got confidence behind that.
When you look obviously about the disappointment of not making the tournament last year, how did you kind of take that disappointment? Obviously, the year ended on a positive with the win,
Right.
in the other tournament. But how did you kind of? I mean, was it a continuation of that? Okay, so we didn't make it, but we go to the WIV. BBC, or I forget all the letters that are involved with
NIVC.
that. NIVC. And you win that, and then it was just a continuation. Let's take that momentum into the offseason to get to where we want to be next year.
Yeah, so obviously there was a huge disappointment when we were watching the selection show and our team wasn't called. But after that, Rita was like, we're going to the NIVC. And her and Ryan just talked about how teams that ended up winning it in the past have ended up being in a good spot to make it into the tournament. So it was really just about putting ourselves in that position and also playing a little bit longer for that team chemistry and just ending on that good note. And then obviously carrying it into the off season, being like, okay, this is what we need to work on, and here are the things that we need to do to get to where we want to be.
We're chatting with Anna Heath, senior, Arizona volleyball. She's in opposite, which means she hits on the front row. You mentioned, and you're the second person, I think, in the last couple of days that's mentioned assistant coach Ryan Windisch. What kind of is his role with the team in getting you guys to where you want to be?
Right. So he is our defensive coach. Okay. So he's in charge of our blocking and defense and kind of our back row and what that looks like. We all love Ryan. His volleyball knowledge and just the way he sees the game is amazing. And I think we all appreciate that, especially I appreciate him coming from the men's game also, and just like sometimes he'll implement a little bit of the men's game into the women's game, especially with blocking and just things like that. So it's a different look than kind of what we're used to. But overall, it's just his volleyball knowledge and the way he sees the game we love.
How would you categorize what those differences are from maybe some of the things you guys are utilizing that about how the men play versus maybe traditionally how women would play?
Right. So for me, I've mainly heard him from a blocking standpoint, and just the way he talks about taking up space or our hand positioning on the block, for me, is just a different way than I've heard it in the past from other coaches. So that's kind of the main difference there for me, just like the technical side behind blocking.
We're talking to Anna Heath, U of A senior opposite. Wildcats 5-2 right now in the Big 12. Big week coming up. Iowa State on the road Thursday, home to Arizona State on Saturday. When you talk about defense, he and the rest of the coaches must be doing a really good job of getting you guys to keep the ball off the ground. 4 players in the last game with double-digit digs, including both Jordan Wilson and Carly Cisneros, traditionally hitters who have over 20 digs. We don't necessarily always see your top outside hitters that can play defense like that. Is that part of this process you're talking about that's allowed them to kind of achieve those levels?
Yeah. So everything from a defensive point starts with blocking. So making sure that our block is in the right spot, taking up the right angles from the hitters, and then also like Carly and Jordan and our defensive players playing around that and behind that. So it all like works together in like a well-oiled machine kind of to put them in a position to be able to do that. And also just on their part, making great reads and great moves on defense as well.
Anna Heath is our guest, Arizona senior. Now, what is the main role for folks that don't know? Obviously, you've got the outside hitter, which is generally the dominant hitter on the team, which in your case would be Jordan. What is how would you describe to people maybe that don't know the different roles, what the opposite does?
Right. So the outside players are typically the ones more often than not that are going to play front row and back row. Your right sides, they are typically going to be the players that only play front row and less back row. Now, yes, you'll have your players that do end up playing both, but more often than not, they will sub out for the back row rotations. That's kind of the main difference. But also, the outsides just get more sets in general because a lot of volleyball is played out of system. And typically, when you're out of system as much, a higher percentage of those balls will be set to the outside hitters.
We're chatting with Anna Heath, Arizona volleyball senior. And again, we mentioned, obviously, you guys went on the road last weekend. Different kind of trip. Had to go all the way to Florida and then come back through Texas. And now you got a few days at home. You got to get back on the plane and go to Iowa. How has that worked? How have you guys, I know that Rita said today she kind of changed up the schedule a little bit to guys give you maybe a little bit of an extra rest. How are you guys managing this new travel in the Big 12?
Yes. So obviously a lot more cross-country travel than we're used to. But, yeah, kind of like Rita said, just rest is a huge part of recovery, kind of the biggest part of recovery. So recognizing when that is needed, more necessary rather than the reps and everything in the volleyball gym. Yes, those are necessary, but if we can get quality over quantity, that's a bigger positive than being in the gym super early this morning and going for longer.
And one of the things that we talked to Jordan also today, and one of the things she talked about is how, you guys are not the tallest team when it comes to hitters. Like, how have you been able to manage that? Obviously, because you're someone that's up there on the front row. How have you, 5'10", seems like most people would say, 5'10's tall, but in volleyball you have, women that are 6'2", 6'3". How have you adjusted to maybe not having that height when it comes to how you want to hit the ball offensively?
Right. So one thing that we're working on with me and something that I've been working hard at is just like seeing and recognizing what the other side of the court is doing, right? So I don't have as much power or jumping ability or height as Jordan does, but I can see the court and see what the other team is doing and either use their, tool them on the block or put balls in open spaces to either, yes, score the point, which is ideal, or more so get them out of system so then they're scrambling on the other side.
And this has been really just kind of an involvement from you. Obviously, you came in here and we're playing the setting position for the large part of the first part of your career. You've developed out of that into another aspect for this team. How have you been able to do that and become such a important contributor to this team?
Yeah, so I started my volleyball career hitting. I transitioned to setting for college. And Rita and I had a conversation at the end of last season, and I was like, hey, Rita, I want to contribute more. I want to be on the court more for this team and help out in some other ways that I haven't been able to my freshman year and then my junior year. And her solution was, okay, let's put you on the right side. So there's a lot of training that went into that in the off season and just getting used to hitting again almost and kind of relearning it, but at a higher level. So those are kind of the big things, just kind of getting used to it again and understanding the game in a different way than I have for the past 3 or 4 years.
How much of that is mental versus physical?
A lot of it is mental rather than physical. I would say that one thing that's really helped me is remembering that, yes, I haven't, when I, in the off season, I was constantly telling myself that I have not done this in a few years and this is a change. So keeping that patience with myself, but also knowing hey, okay, it's time, you got to figure it out a little bit quicker than you are. So not expecting too much from myself, but also holding higher expectations. Yes, this is NCAA volleyball and you got to figure it out at some point. You can't just mosey on and hope it clicks later.
Arizona volleyball on the road at Iowa State, home to Arizona State Saturday night at McHale Center. No football this weekend, so get out to the volleyball game, 6 o'clock, retro night. They're asking all the fans to wear red. Let's make it really loud because the Sun Devils coming here right now as the first place team in the Big 12. And I don't think they've lost in conference play yet, so let's send them out of here with a loss for sure. I would imagine, Anna, you don't want to overlook Iowa State, but you guys, I would imagine, are getting excited for that match coming up Saturday night.
Yes, it's always a fun game.
There we go.
We're excited.
We'll have safe travels to Ames, and looking forward to seeing you guys back here in Tucson Saturday night.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Anna Heath, U of A senior, opposite side hitter. Wildcats 5-2 in the Big 12. 11-6 overall on a really good stretch right now with 3 consecutive wins. But again, tough week at Iowa State. That's a good team. They're near the top of the conference. Arizona State's in first place. And then you've got after that at Texas Tech, home TCU, BYU, Texas Tech. So that'll be 3 straight at home. There's still a lot of volleyball to be played as we get down to the weekend of Thanksgiving. When they'll be wrapping this thing up. So still a lot to be played, a lot of ways this could go. Hopefully the Wildcats stay on that winning track. DK on the Sports Tip, hour number 1 is in the books. Much more coming up. We're going to break down Arizona football in the 5 o'clock hour with Glenn Howe. Right now, Dragon Ball's here. He's got everything happening in sports here in Southern Arizona, as well as sports around the world.
Well, Arizona women's basketball was one of the first squads presented at today's Big 12 Women's Basketball Media Days, and their new head coach, Becky Burke, she's discussed her arrival to Tucson, as well as the admission that this team will, with only one returning player from last year's roster, will likely be building on a rebuild season.
Complete rebuild from the studs. I mean, when you talk about us being hired and walking down from a stage like this at my press conference, we had one player in the locker room, and so this is a complete rebuild. We weren't hired early in the process by any means as far as the cycle goes and the portal goes, so we came in here and hit the ground running 100 miles an hour as soon as my name was called. And so I think we've done a tremendous job of hiring a staff, building a roster, in the time frame that we had. Again, we're a no excuses group, but let's be real about what it was. I mean, it was bare bones, so definitely a complete rebuild.
Again, reminder that Arizona women's basketball has their first exhibition game this Thursday, which you'll hear on our sister station at KTUC 1400, with tip-off set for around 6 p.m. that day. Another talking point brought up by the Big 12 Media Days by Commissioner Brett Yormark gave his opinion on the chance of NCAA tournament and college football playoff expansion, but focused on the tournament by saying that he thinks there is momentum, with him going on to say that they should use 76 as a working number, but also saying that the right economics have to come to play with it. Meanwhile, Monday Night Football finished their last doubleheader of the season, barring further flexing later in the year. The Lions dominated the Buccaneers thanks to another strong performance by Jahmyr Gibbs and the Lions offense, keeping the cardiac Bucs from getting back in the game. Meanwhile, the Seahawks managed to keep the Texans from fighting back despite a back-and-forth final 15 minutes as they kept the Texans out of the goal line on a key drive to push themselves to 5 wins on the season. And I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do, with press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
Bounce pass, a Walker, slam it home.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. Irvington and Benson Highway in Irvington with a mobile home fire on the north side of the intersection. Some slowing at Benson Highway in Irvington. More backups for Grant and Alvernon, westbound and southbound. Slowing on Swan at Grant. Southbound on Country Club at 5th, 6th Street, and also westbound Speedway Boulevard at Main Avenue. 66 the low, 89 partly cloudy tomorrow, and 91 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The slow-roasted Cantina chicken menu is here to stay, with ingredients like purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. Try it today at a participating U.S. Taco Bell location while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature-Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the number one pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Progressive presents a testimonial of sorts.
Hey, slow down! Oh, yeah? Well, you drive like my grandma. She's a very attentive and courteous driver who wears a seatbelt and always uses her turn signals. She's also a talented painter and has very low cholesterol. Not that that has anything to do with her drive. We just thought a more complete picture of who she is might be interesting. Anyway, have a nice day.
Safe driver? Get Snapshot from Progressive and get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Hello, everybody.
Gary, why are you wearing a...
Hold on, Ron. Every time Gary walks in here wearing some goofy costume, you always say, Gary, why are you wearing that?
Yeah, but...
And then it turns into some long-winded story about Alaskifications.
Yeah, but...
Then Gary says something ridiculous.
Yeah, but...
And you agree that an Alaskification before winter is the best way to prepare for cold weather.
Yeah, but...
And how Alaskan AC guarantees no breakdowns.
Yeah, but...
And all it does is encourage Gary to walk around wearing a stupid-looking ski mask that no person in his right mind would get caught dead wearing.
Yeah, but he's wearing my ski mask.
Keeping my head protected, just like the Alaskification protects your heater.
My ski mask isn't stupid looking.
Look who's wearing it. I choose to ignore that remark. Because you know another one is coming.
Take off that stupid ski mask.
See?
And that's why you should schedule your Alaskification today.
What did we accomplish here?
I'm not sure, but today is a good day to Alaskify. Schedule now at alaskanac.com.
Kick off your week with Wildcats Radio 1290 for Modelo Mondays from 6 to 7 p.m. at Union Public House. Enjoy a refreshing Modelo, spin to win prizes, and more. Sponsored by Modelo, brewed for full-time Cats fans, an official partner of Arizona Athletics.
If you're ready to build your dream home, let the Window Depot help. Our expertise spans more than 20 years helping contractors provide custom windows built to last. Our in-house design team works closely with you and your contractor to create the perfect windows. From design to delivery, your contractor will have exactly what they need when they need it. And with the largest inventory and unbeatable prices, your dream windows are just a step away. Visit us in store to get started or find a location near you at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot. Best prices, biggest inventory.
Looking for top-notch lumber and framing? Johnson Manley Lumber has been your trusted expert since 1970, specializing in both residential and commercial projects. Our experienced teams, cutting-edge technology, and reliable supply chain ensure your framing is on time and on budget every time. We're proud to be employee-owned and community-rooted in Tucson. Learn more at johnsonmanley.net. Proud supporter of the University of Arizona radio broadcast. Go Wildcats.
It's Which is Riches, only from Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Club Soul members can swipe daily to enter drawings held Friday and Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m., where winners get to pick from the Witch's Cauldron to see which prize is rich with $500 free play. It's Which is Riches, now through October 31st, only at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun, an enterprise of the Boscoyaki tribe.
Average doesn't grow your business. Smart Strategy does. Cumulus digital campaigns outperform industry benchmarks by over 25%. You're not average, and your results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to leave average behind.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona Athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Man, I forgot again. I forgot to give you your keyword before 4 o'clock. I have two keywords. Well, now I have one. So I'll give you your one keyword coming up here in a little while. It's a chance to win $1,000. We give you 5 chances a day to win $1,000. It's our 5K a day giveaway. Hopefully you heard the last keyword in one of our commercial blocks and you had a chance to text that keyword in to have a chance to win some money. I'll give you another chance here coming up a little bit later. Appreciate Anna Heath for joining us. Don't forget to get out and support those ladies this weekend at McHale Center. Should be a fun one, always is, when the Wildcats and the Sun Devils get together. We mentioned it is the, all of a sudden I don't have a voice. Excuse me.
Dragon Ball, why don't we take the time to talk about how much fun it is to watch ASU and Arizona play each other?
I mean, it's always a fun one.
It's so fun.
Regardless of what the sport is, I mean, it's an in-state rivalry. What else can you get?
Hey.
What else can you get out of that? Again, and not only that, but this has been a situation where the volleyball team has been on that really good run. They're seemingly really finding their groove in the Big 12. Again, this is a program that was just on the outside looking into the national tournament last season. This is definitely shaping up to be one of Rita Stubbs' best jobs so far.
It's like, how do you not root for Seattle to get to the World Series? How do you not root for Tempe Normal Teachers College to, it's like that come-up story and find their way to some kind of success?
Sometimes, I mean, the storybooks write themselves, but sometimes, sadly, they're just not meant to be.
That's true. Very true. We mentioned, and you heard Dragon Ball's report at the top of the hour, Arizona women's basketball was at their Big 12 Media Day today. We'll let you hear that coming up a little bit later in this hour. Becky Burke, and they had three ladies with them. Mickey Purdue was on the trip today as one of those three. We'll let you hear them and what they had to say coming up a little bit later. Also, we mentioned first day of the NBA. Lakers will be on the floor tonight. DeAndre Ayton, Arizona Wildcat alum, is now a member of the Lakers. This is his third team in the National Basketball Association. Of course, number one pick by the Phoenix Suns. Gosh, it seems like 10 years ago, but it really was not that long ago that DeAndre Ayton was the number one pick.
It's just rare that a number one pick plays for three teams
Yeah.
in less than 10 years.
Yeah, well, I mean, that tells you right there what you need to know about DeAndre Ayton's career to this point. Obviously helped lead the Suns to the NBA Finals. I saw something yesterday that said the Suns are not picked to finish very highly this year in the National Basketball Association, so we might be looking at one of those years if you're a Suns fan. But DeAndre moved on. He was traded from the Suns to the Blazers, and the Blazers had hoped that maybe he could be a cornerstone for their rebuild after Dame Lillard. But now DeAndre's gone, and Dame Lillard is back in Portland.
Is that like a lose-lose trade? Because Nurkic didn't exactly live up to his billing in Phoenix either.
No. And where's he at now? In the Nets?
I don't know. I just know he didn't play the last third of the season last year because he couldn't get off the bench.
Not at all. Channing Frye and Richard Jefferson, of course, they are the two of the most popular alums to ever come out of this program in terms of the National Basketball Association, at least right now in terms of national recognition. So many people know them. They have a podcast. I would imagine this is
from Road Tripping.
Yeah,
yes.
Road Tripping.
And not only that, DK, but Channing and RJ are also both from Phoenix. We know DeAndre Ayton's not from Phoenix, but that's where he played his high school basketball. So they know a thing or two about going from the preps in Phoenix to the U of A.
Yeah. So let's hear Channing and RJ on DeAndre Ayton and his trek from Phoenix to Portland to Los Angeles and where his career stands as he enters his first season with the Lakers.
He is a hit or miss, and the reason why he is frustrating is because he oozes talent. In the NBA, there's talent and expectations go like this, and then this is who you are. There are days where his talent goes like this, and then what you expect from him is way down here because he may not even try that game. It is rare to get drafted to a team like Phoenix, have an opportunity to play in the NBA championship with a guy like Chris Paul, then a guy named, Devin Booker, who's an ultimate competitor, does everything that's needed to win. And these guys don't vouch for you. And the city of Phoenix wants you gone because you can't compete. Then you come to Portland where a team goes, hey, we're young and building, right? We're young and building, and we want you to be the centerpiece of this. And then within, 3 years, they can't get you out of here fast enough. They buy you out. So that's strike two. So now, because you're in LA, players fall in love with being famous more than winning in LA. So if you don't have that motor, that sickness to be great in a place like LA, you are going to start, well, it wasn't my fault. or it wasn't this. You stop getting on that grind. And then you're playing with Luka, and then you're playing with Braun. So now you're even more famous for doing nothing. You could do nothing and be famous. So if he's not ready to commit to the unfamous stuff, it's going to get ugly. The Luka Doncic, DeAndre Ayton screen and roll, that's barbecue chicken. That's one of the worst ones in the NBA.
He's saying defensively, if you were to put those two in a pick and roll, he's not good. Yeah, on defense. Yeah. Now, offensively, that pick and roll could cause some problems.
Could be. See, and that's the thing. You go, ooh, that could be nasty, or, oh, that could be nasty.
Well, you gotta like those two guys, boy. They are.
You think they're friends with each other?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. The fun times. Enjoyed having those guys play on my favorite team for a number of years and help us win.
They know a thing or two about playing with Braun, right?
Yeah, they do.
They know what they're talking about.
They do, for sure. So, what's the end game here for Mr. Ayton in Los Angeles?
I think what he said there, what Channing said there to start it, is what everybody's always known, which is that if you look at DeAndre Ayton, his size, his physicality, and the way he moves at that size with that physicality, that's David Robinson. I mean, that's literally the same exact body and fluidity for a 7'1" guy. Growing up in the islands, picking up basketball late, the question coming out as a freshman, sophomore, junior in high school was just that. How motivated is he to be great? I've always rooted for DeAndre Ayton. I always wanted the dunk in the playoff run to the finals where they won the game. I mean, all signs were pointing to him really finally figuring that out and being a motivated player, Dragon Ball, day in, day out. Now, I'm not a Suns fan. You are. Mm-hmm. From a fan's perspective, watching DeAndre Ayton play for your team, that lack of motivation on a nightly basis, what's that like as a fan to watch him play and to root for a guy like that?
It's beyond frustrating, JW. And it's frustrating because I think back to an old quote from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar where he said, a team will always appreciate a great individual if that individual is willing to sacrifice for the group. And so much of what I watched with DeAndre Ayton at times was once it got hard and it got to be a really down to the wire, and he needs to be willing to take the punishment of being the lone big man on that court. Is he going to be willing to go ahead and fight guys for rebounds in the hard minutes? And he was not sometimes willing to do that. And we saw a lot of it in the tail end of his time in Phoenix where he was getting in arguments with Mikal Bridges. He was getting in arguments with Chris Paul. He was getting in arguments with Devin Booker, telling them, don't blame this on me. You guys need to rebound it. You guys need to rebound it. And it's just, you're the 7-footer on the court. You're the closest guy to that rim. When the ball bounces off it, there's no reason for you not to at least be attempting to go up with a hand up. And the other quote that immediately comes to mind with DeAndre is, adversity can cause some men to break and others to break records. And sadly, there's been a lot of points where I've seen adversity break him rather than him willing to try to break through it.
Yeah, I don't know him as a personal, I don't have a personal relationship with DeAndre Ayton, but from the outside looking in, it feels like that whole looking at yourself in the mirror and self-reflecting on how much of these things swirling around me are cause of my actions. How much of this has to do with me or my lack of effort or me not doing the correct things by the coaching staff. I will say this. You asked about long-term, DK, in L.A. Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, and Luka Doncic are all the exact same age as DeAndre Ayton. They're all 27 years old. So you talk about being surrounded by your peers. We know LeBron's 42. He's not going to be in the league much longer. But as far as building that Lakers roster out, if he puts his head down, if he focuses on rebounding, defending the paint, and rolling hard when guys like Luka and Austin Reeves, two of the best one-on-one perimeter players in the NBA and willing passers, and get your hands up, Dragon Ball, I could see a future where DeAndre Ayton averaged 1 or 2, 3 dunks per game, 8 or 9, 10 rebounds, and was a positive influence on a successful Lakers run. It's all up to him. It's been that way since he was a senior in high school, really. And there are times, the most frustrating thing, like Channing pointed out, there are times when he looks like the best center in the NBA, and that might be for 3 minutes, 1 game a week. Mm-hmm. And if he could up that to 20 minutes, 2 games a week, then you have something to talk about. But for now, all I can say, DK, is he's playing with the best perimeter offensive creator in the league, in Luka. Nobody can stop Luka in ISO. So if he can feed off of that, be on the same side of the court, he can feast. It's just up to if his head is in the game, he's going to be successful. If not, it's going to be out of there in less than 3 years, just like the last 2 stops.
And the only thing I can think of real quick, just hit this part last, is I always think back to that video in the finals of Monty Williams grabbing DeAndre by the arm, say, hey, you've set a high bar for yourself, and that's why you're down. But you need to go and reach that. Dominate with force. That's what we need from you. That was a video I watched and said, I want to run through a wall for Monty. The only person that saw that moment and didn't want to run through a wall for Monty was DeAndre Ayton, because he didn't run through that wall, and that's what ended up leading to that finals collapse.
Also, finally, last I heard, Christian Coloco is still on that roster as well. So we're talking about 2 former Arizona Wildcats centers anchoring the paint with Luka and LeBron James. That's the Lakers season. If you're a Cats fan, something to watch.
All right, we have got 82 games to get this figured out. 82 games to get this figured out. And it starts tonight. In the NBA. And we'll kind of watch and see what happens with DeAndre Ayton. We are joined now by the 4th member of our team. Cricket is here. Cricket, you were so popular last week giving out a keyword for our 5K a day. I mean, I think the from what they told me, the numbers just like skyrocketed of people that wanted to get in on it.
I had to turn the ringer off in this studio because it was just nonstop people
calling, texting the wrong numbers, everything. Not texting the short code, but texting my personal phone, trying to win money because Cricket gave the keyword. So I figured we would let you give out today's keyword once again. I think I gave you the wrong one.
Okay, let's not do that. Let us not do that.
That's the second.
Then we'll get a bunch of calls for the different reason.
That's the second time this week I've given out the wrong keyword. So we don't want to do that. We don't. There, I think I got you the right one now. All right, so here we go.
So.
It is the 5K a day giveaway. This is how it works. 5 times a day, we give you a keyword. Chance to win a $1,000 every time I give you that keyword. The short code. You know anything about short codes, Cricket? You know what is short code? Do you have any short codes in your phone?
Probably not.
No? Okay. Because you can't. You're not allowed to win anything.
Exactly.
Only people that are allowed to win stuff would have short codes in their phone.
Does 911 include?
Does that count?
911. Yeah. You don't want to use that short code if you don't have to.
Don't text the keyword to them.
Don't text the keyword to 911. 95819. 95819. That's the short code. All right. Here is the keyword. Got Cricket. This is not tickets, but it's a chance to win $1,000. It's even better than that.
Yeah.
You could buy 2 tickets for that amount of money.
You could.
This is very true.
To the Sphere to see the Eagles. Apparently that's very popular now. Are you an Eagles fan?
Sure.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Was that Hotel California, right? Is that them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Living it up at the Hotel. Yeah, apparently at the Sphere, it's unbelievable. Everybody's flocking to Vegas to see the Eagles at the Sphere.
Excellent.
You're not one of those people, apparently.
No, I'm saving money.
There you go.
I ain't got that kind of money, and I can't play to win $1,000.
No. All right. So the keyword for right now, Cricket. Let me give you like a little drum roll here.
Okay. Yada 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 yada. For $1,000, text the national keyword "good."
Good.
GOOD. Text the national keyword "good" to 95819. Make sure you text that to 95819. Good luck.
If it's good for you, it's good for me. 95819 for a chance to win $1,000. Now, we will text you back to confirm your entry. Data and messaging rates may apply. Please do not text and drive. Pull over. And if people, I've been telling people if they want to put that short code in 95819 and title it DK's giving away money. If you want to just put Cricket's giving away money, you can do that too.
You know, the Eagles had a
Cricket
song.
and $1,000. Put that in your phone.
You know, the Eagles had a song called "Good Day in the Sun," just to bring it all back
there
full
you go.
circle.
Good
perfect.
Day.
Thank
I don't
you.
remember, how did that one go?
I don't know. It's a more obscure
It
Eagles
was not
song.
a huge hit.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Good Day in the Sun. I'll have to listen to that one for sure.
Good.
All right. Thank you, Cricket, for
You're
making
welcome.
somebody rich. And,
Okay.
well, $1,000 not really rich, but you could have
It's
some fun.
helpful.
It's helpful.
Oh, heck
It is
yeah.
helpful. So thank you for making somebody helpful. Now is going to do, she's always helping you. She helps you every 20 minutes on the fives get home without any delay.
And from the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together at Irvington and Benson Highway in Irvington. That was a mobile home fire. A lot of backups at the intersection westbound and northbound at Benson Highway in Irvington. Some slowing westbound I-10 near Alvernon. Backups on southbound La Cholla at Ajo and also at Ajo and Mission for southbound and westbound travel. 66, the overnight low, 89, partly cloudy tomorrow, and 91 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER. Get you out of plumbing danger.
Basketball season is here. Tune in this Thursday, October 23rd, as Becky Burke leads your Arizona Wildcats against the West Texas A&M Lady Buffs. Coverage begins at 5:45 p.m. on our sister station, Freedom 1400.
Paid for by term provider. Premiums will vary. Plans depend on age, location, and other factors. Visit BigLoot.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-1509. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-1509 or biglou.com.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong. You are fearless. You are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. There's a rumor that summer could finally be coming to an end. A big relief for us, but your car is probably still feeling the effects of the brutal summer heat. So now is the perfect time to stop by any of the 14 area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a complimentary check of your tires, battery, brakes, coolant levels, and wiper blades. And if you're in the market for tires, you'll save big this month on our Arizona-approved collection of tires, like the smooth-riding, long-lasting Michelin Defender 2. With factory rebates and instant savings, you'll get back up to $200. And we've got lots more tires that can tackle Arizona's extremes like BF Goodrich and Uniroyal with big savings right now. Visit jackfurriers.com to check out all the specials. And for fast, friendly service, you can make an appointment online. Call ahead or just drive up and find out why Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the locals' favorite for tires and automotive repair. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Hi, I'm Jordan Benjamin with Dunright Services. When your home or business needs HVAC, plumbing services, or electrical work, trust a true local Tucson company, Dunright Services. We pride ourselves on delivering top-notch service, fair pricing, and expert craftsmanship. The job isn't finished unless it's done right. Weekend emergency? No problem. Just give us a call. We're here when you need us. You deserve the best, and Dunright Services delivers. Call us today for a free estimate at 520-369-3966.
Valentine Plumbing reminds all the proud and honorable men and women of our military are still overseas sacrificing their lives for our country. Please don't forget our brave heroes. This message from Valentine Plumbing, top quality and dependable service backed by a name you know and trust. For all your plumbing needs, whether it's service, repairs, commercial, or residential, give the pros a call that do it all at 520-444-9359. That's Valentine Plumbing, on the air, people who care.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Keep your career moving forward with growth opportunities, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces. Go to careers.progressive.com and apply today.
Hi, I'm Mike Ham with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Week 7 of the NFL season came to an end with a Monday night doubleheader. In the nightcap, the Seahawks survived 4 turnovers to beat the Texans 27-19. Jackson Smith-Njigba had his 3rd straight 100-yard receiving game, catching 8 balls for $123 and a score. In the first game, the Lions, led by Jahmyr Gibbs, 2 touchdowns, 218 total yards, beat the Bucs 24-9. Tampa didn't just lose the game, they also lost wide receiver Mike Evans, who suffered a broken clavicle. He'll miss most of the season, according to the team. NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero is reporting Carolina's Bryce Young will miss Sunday's showdown with the Bills after spraining his ankle in Week 7 over the Jets in that win. And Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels avoid a serious injury to that hamstring, according to Dan Quinn. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Here's your shot at winning $1,000. It's $5K a day on Wildcats Radio 1290. Text the national keyword GOOD right now to 95819. That's GOOD to 95819. We'll text you back to confirm your entry. Data and message rates may apply. Please don't text and drive.
Your shot at $5K a day is happening now. Listen for the national keyword 5 times each weekday. Then text the keyword to 95819. 5 winners, $1,000 each. $5K a day.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. The Oklahoma City Thunder on the court tonight as the NBA season begins. They just got their NBA rings for winning the championship last year. I mean, those were some pretty big rings. I was like, can you even wear that thing, or is that just like something you put in a box and keep it in your trophy case? Because I don't know how you can walk around with that big stone.
People
on your
wear
hand.
them around their necks a lot these days, don't they?
Yeah, championship rings now are no longer what they used to be. Before, it was almost similar to that of like a high school graduation ring or whatever that you would get, and it was gaudy, but it wasn't necessarily something that was outlandish. Now you can put like 3 of those on your hand at a time, and they almost serve as almost like a brass knuck that you can go ahead and use in a fight.
The trend has also been multifaceted. So what you'll do is have a ring that has a compartment that opens up that has earrings in it, and then another compartment that opens up and has a ring on it, like another ring. It's a multi object.
The thing is, J-Dub's not wrong, because there have been the new one for the NFL is that they'll have the stadium built in underneath the face of the ring. Like, I think it was the Rams Super Bowl ring that you could take the top off of it, and it was a fully realized copy of SoFi Stadium inside of it. And I think they did the same thing with the Chiefs ring. But no, championship rings now, you almost can't wear it in public. It's very rare you see anybody have those anymore outside of the public
I think
eye.
the real question is, what's the point of a crazy expensive piece of jewelry if it's not so large that people can't avoid seeing it? Right? Isn't that whole idea behind it?
I guess.
I mean, it's the same
not hard
argument.
to see those rings.
Not for us. I just mean in general, that's the principle.
It's the same argument about having all these different like jewels and rocks inside of a watch, and it blinds you every time it hits the sunlight just right because you can't see where the hands are at. And then you have to go to your phone to see the time because you actually can't read it because there's so much light reflecting off of the jewels.
There's nothing more, like there's no status symbol that comes close to a World Series, NBA Finals, or Super Bowl ring because it's a tangible thing and you can only get it, DK, by having success at the ultimate level. So make them as big as they need them.
Okay, there you go. Make them as big as you need them. 2 games on the docket tonight. The first one is about to tip off, and we're going back to the past. Dragon Ball, are you old enough to remember this music right here? The NBA is back on NBC. Are you old enough, Dragon Ball?
Good old Round Ball Rock. Yeah,
are you old enough to remember that?
I remember John Tesh's song. I don't know if I was
John Tesh, that's right.
I don't know if I remember watching it on TV at the time, but I do remember hearing this song a lot.
We all remember it. Do you know why? Because there were only 4 channels.
Yes.
and the internet didn't exist.
Yeah, the Bulls obviously were. This was my favorite part here.
Make it funky, John Tesh.
That was the part I liked. So yeah, I mean, and that's the whole thing. It's like now that the NBA is back on NBC, I mean, that's one of the greatest themes of all time, right? So you don't mess with that. You don't come. I would imagine when NBC got the rights back, they didn't go into a room and say, okay, we got to come up with another theme. They're like, no, we do not have to come up with another theme. We've got the greatest theme of all time. We're just going to reboot that.
I remember when the news broke, a year ago, I remember reading that they were going to have John Tesh remastered or something like that.
Maybe retool it, but keep the essence of what it is.
It was the greatest trade-off of discussion on NBA internet circles was, okay, we're losing the Inside the NBA on TNT crew, but we're getting Round Ball Rock back on NBC. So which one outweighs the other at that point was the argument for a while.
I don't know. People like to hear Chuck talk about nonsense.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't. I'm anxious to see how that's all going to play out.
They're going to try to rein them in. I mean, it's Disney, right? So it's going to be a little different. It's going to. I would imagine there's going to be some headbutting behind the scenes, but yeah, I agree. I'm interested in seeing the evolution of that show. It's like 25 years, 30 years on TNT.
We were talking a little bit about DeAndre Ayton. He is with his 3rd team, played his first 5 seasons in the NBA with the Phoenix Suns, 2 years with the Portland Trailblazers. This will be his first year with the Lakers. He is a career 16-point-a-game scorer, averaging 11 rebounds, so averages a double-double on his career. But again, a number 1 overall pick on his 3rd team in 8 years is not exactly what you'd like to see. DeAndre talked about getting to LA, and it's time to prove the doubters wrong.
It fuels me. It fuels me up completely in. It's a different type of drive that I've been wanting to express for a long time. And I think this is the perfect timing, here in the purple and gold. And it's a platform that I cannot run from. I can show what I really am and just be around some greats to really emphasize that for me as well. And it is a lot of fuel in me, to prove the whole world wrong.
Do you think LeBron's going to put his foot in Ayton's butt?
Yes.
I would be surprised if that did not happen.
There are there are a handful of of athletes who reach the pinnacle of their sports that are no-nonsense guys, right? And I think LeBron, you would know better than anybody, DK. LeBron in his first stint with Cleveland might have been a little bit more happy-go-lucky type of thing. Competitor, wanted to win, no doubt. But it took a turn there. And after, in his second stint with Cleveland, I think of the instance with the timeout being called.
Yeah.
And just the way that LeBron treats his teammates, very Jordan-ish. Like, I might enjoy going out to dinner and sharing a glass of wine with you, but when it comes down to you doing your job on the court in those 48 minutes, it's either do it or sit. And so, yeah, there's no doubt LeBron, there's a lot of good big personalities. I think JJ will be the same. I think there are people in that Lakers organization who will not put up, because guess what? They were building in Phoenix. Then Chris Paul got there. A couple years later, they made the finals. Portland had no chance of doing any damage. He's going to a team with 2 first ballot Hall of Fame. How many MVPs between Luka doesn't have any, but how many first team All NBAs?
Right.
Luka was first 5 years. LeBron, like 14 years All NBA or more. So there's a lot of pressure for that entire organization to win now, because LeBron's not going to be there forever. And as far as him putting his foot in DeAndre Ayton's butt, I have no doubt that week one, if DeAndre Ayton's not cutting hard, not screening hard, not doing those little things he's being told to do behind the scenes, he's going to hear about it, because that's what he's there for. This is his third chance to prove that he's can be a dominant center in the league and not just show splashes of it. So my biggest problem with what he said there is he wants to prove he has a different level of motivation inside of him, and he's been waiting for the opportunity. Dragon Ball, what'd you think about that part?
There's not really a situation where you can get away from the moment more than being in the NBA Finals or being in the NBA playoffs.
How about just coming to the University of Arizona? I mean, like, how many national televised games? I'm not trying to compare.
Oh, yeah,
I just mean, like, in his whole career, he's been in the limelight, being the number 1 pick, the expectations in Phoenix. LA is certainly a little bit different, but he's finally in a place where he can show his true motivation, and it takes a place and is surrounding by people. It's not internal.
He was the starting center for the number 1 seed in the West when the team got dog walked out of the postseason by Luka and the Mavericks, where he was getting absolutely destroyed by 2 guys that were I could describe them as adequate at center, but he is supposed to be that upper echelon of starting. This is a guy that's an everyday starter in the NBA, supposedly. We had not really felt the same way about the 2 guys that the Mavericks had at the time, because they were kind of platooning the 2 of them for that run to the finals where they eventually lost to the Celtics. But the fact that they just got dog walked out and Ayton showed no real fight in any of those final games, it's just like, okay, so you're motivated. I've heard this before. I've seen this before. I'm waiting to see what you do when you're actually on the court. And there's a little bit of that animosity that starts to rise up, that you don't want to deal with that attention, but you're going to have to, because someone's going to hold you accountable. And no one holds his teammates more accountable than LeBron James. We saw it in the finals with Cleveland. We see it in the finals with Miami. This is what LeBron is going to do. You need to do your job so he can do his. He's not going to do everybody's.
Also, those Mavericks players were rookie and second year, Derek Lively and Daniel Gadford. So not exactly like 10th year veteran all-stars.
Yeah.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. What do you believe is going to be the legacy of DeAndre Ayton now that he is with the Los Angeles Lakers? We can dive into that.
27
years old.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, that's what I'm looking at. There is a lot of wear on those tires left. So, I mean, again, I have always rooted for DeAndre Ayton to turn it around and find motivation wherever that is. If it's not catching lobs from Luka, where is it?
That's the question to be answered, hopefully beginning this year. All right, what's going to be the answer for Arizona basketball, women's basketball this year? A team of newness, new coach, new players, new just about everything. And they will hit the floor Thursday night for their first exhibition game. We'll hear from Becky Burke and the ladies from Kansas City. Big 12 Media Day straight ahead. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s right now with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. With some backups at Ajo and Mission, southbound and westbound. Heavy backups for southbound La Cholla, approaching Ajo Way. Also, we've got road work at Ajo and Keno. That road work continuing, and road work on Park Avenue from 36th Street to north of 22nd. 66, the overnight low, 89, partly cloudy tomorrow, and 90 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Never wait to see your family doctor again. At My Doctor Now, you don't need to take time off work or even schedule ahead. Open 7 days a week. It's your family doctor, available same day, every day, guaranteed. Go to My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hello, everybody. Gary, why are you wearing a... Hold on, Ron. Every time Gary walks in here wearing some goofy costume, you always say, Gary, why are you wearing that? Yeah, but... And then it turns into some long-winded story about Alaskifications. Yeah, but... Then Gary says something ridiculous. Yeah, but... And you agree that an Alaskification before winter is the best way to prepare for cold weather. Yeah, but... And how Alaskan AC guarantees no breakdowns. Yeah, but... And all it does is encourage Gary to walk around wearing a stupid-looking ski mask that no person in his right mind would get caught dead wearing. Yeah, but he's wearing my ski mask. Keeping my head protected, just like the Alaskification protects your heater. My ski mask isn't stupid looking. Look who's wearing it. I choose to ignore that remark. Because you know another one is coming. Take off that stupid ski mask. See? And that's why you should schedule your Alaskification today. What did we accomplish here? I'm not sure, but today is a good day to Alaskify. Schedule now at alaskanac.com.
Broadway in Tucson presents the 20th anniversary season featuring 7 Tucson premieres, including Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Hell's Kitchen, Moulin Rouge, The Wiz, Back to the Future, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and more. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the lowest prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2025-2026 season tickets today.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Hey you, we've got something new in the store.
Well, not really in store. It's in your home, in your office, where you play, wherever you are.
My point, son. We're here, you're there.
Wherever that is.
Tucson Appliance Company is your appliance concierge.
Tell us what you want. We will find it and send you photos, texts, emails, even FaceTime you the appliance. Buy it and we will deliver it. We're your personal appliance shopper.
Only at Tucson Appliance, where our low price is your priority.
BK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Big 12 Media Days happening basketball-wise in Kansas City, Missouri. The ladies were on center stage today. It'll be the men tomorrow. We'll also hear back. They'll be back home. We'll carry Becky Burke's press conference tomorrow morning live here on Wildcats Radio 1290. I believe it's at 9:15. So get up early, get your coffee, and hear from Becky. You're going to hear from her now, along with 3 student athletes, Mickey Purdue, Michaela, along with Samaya Supong and Nalani Cornfield. We're in Kansas City at Big 12 Media Days representing the Arizona Wildcats. Becky Burke was asked why she took this job here at the University of Arizona, why Tucson was the right place for her. Let's hear what your head coach of the Arizona Wildcats had to say about that.
There was a lot of different things. I have a coaching background in Arizona. The location obviously is tremendous in the city of Tucson, one of the most beautiful cities in the country. Our leadership, our athletic director Desiree is one of the best in the country. A strong, powerful female that has a great vision for Arizona athletics. Our resources, the things that she's going to provide our program to make sure we're able to have the success that she expects and that ultimately I expect. So I think you walk on campus just like as a recruit would. I did that as a hopeful employee and knew that it was a place that we could win at a high level and do it very quickly.
Well, when you were introduced at your press conference, when you were hired by your athletic director, she coined you as a program builder. Do you see this as a rebuild or a retool as you enter year 1 in the Big 12, but year 2 for the institution?
Complete rebuild from the studs. I mean, when you talk about us being hired and walking down from a stage like this at my press conference, we had one player in the locker room, and so this is a complete rebuild. We weren't hired early in the process by any means as far as the cycle goes and the portal goes, so we came in here and hit the ground running 100 miles an hour as soon as you know my name was called. And so I think we've done a tremendous job of hiring a staff, building a roster, in the time frame that we had. Again, we're a no excuses group, but let's be real about what it was. I mean, it was bare bones, so definitely a complete rebuild.
And when you look at that roster and you think about what it is that you're going to need to be able to compete in your non-con and in the Big 12, can you just talk about the style of play that people are going to see from this version of Arizona women's basketball, and then what pieces you needed to fill in?
Yeah, we needed every piece at every position, multiple of them. No, I think what people are going to see, like literally what I'm even seeing walking around this building today, we're small. Like, we're going to be undersized. We're going to be, we're going to have some things that don't look to our favor on paper. But I think what they don't know about our team is our competitiveness, our attention to detail, our blue collar mentality, how gritty these guys are, the chip that they all have on their shoulder. You know, we have a really good mix of mid-major studs, true freshmen, international players, Power 5 transfers, that every single one of them has such a unique story and such a big chip on their shoulder to come to Arizona and prove people wrong or right, that I think it's going to be something really, really special to see. So we know we got to be a blue-collar group. We got to get after it. We got to roll our sleeves up and get dirty this year and win the things that we can win and that we can control, because we do have some deficiencies on paper, and that's okay. We welcome that. We know that. We're aware of it, but we also feel really good about our team.
All right. A reminder to all of our friends out there, if you do have a question, please raise your hand. We will get a microphone over to you. I have some questions for our student athletes, all of which, all 3 of you are new to the University of Arizona, so I want to clarify that. I'm going to start with Nolani, a Buffalo transfer. You were top 20 nationally last year in steals per game. You come from Buffalo with Coach, so having played for her, knowing what the expectations are, how would you define the culture of Arizona women's basketball?
I would define the culture as I think the culture that she's trying to build is discipline. Obviously, as all of our first year here at Arizona, like, she's still building from the ground up. But what she wants it to be is, discipline, detail oriented, living your day-to-day. She always says how you do one thing's how you do everything. And so just living up to standards each and every day and just holding yourself to the highest you can be and doing everything that she expects of you. So
And Mickey, you were the player of the year a year ago in the Horizon League, a transfer from Cleveland State. What is it about your game that fits with this system that Coach has brought to Arizona? Why was this the right fit for you?
I think this was the right fit, obviously, because number one, I'm a scoring guard, and I think that's one of the main reasons she recruited me. And also just how gritty I am, how much I love the game. I bleed the game. I love this game, and how I'm going to do everything and anything that she asks of me, whether that's going out there and scoring, going out and facilitating, and then obviously playing defense. Last year I was in a zone for the last 2 years. So, this year we're in a man-to-man. I have to relearn those man-to-man principles, and she's did a great job at pushing me, talking a little stuff here and there about maybe how I can't defend. But, I'm always going to show her that I can and that I'm willing to do whatever it is and whatever it takes to do that.
You've been challenged, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing. That's
For sure.
good. We like that. Samaya, you are a junior, 2 seasons at UC San Diego. You were an all Big West first-team selection. You also come with international experience as part of the Philippines national team in the FIBA Asian Cup. Coaches need leaders, and they need them on the floor all the time. How would you define your leadership style for this Arizona squad, knowing the kind of experience that you have?
Yeah, I think just me as a person outside of basketball, I'm normally kind of quiet, kind of reserved. But basketball really just brings out a different side of me. I think my main sort of leadership skill is sort of just leading by example. I try to go out there and, whatever Coach Burke needs on the floor, I'm there to do that. And I think the past 2 years, and considering my international experience, I have grown into my voice. And, if I see something, I'm able to tell my teammates. And I think we built sort of a mutual trust, mutual respect where, I can dish it out and, people can take it. And, also just being a sponge, learning from these 2 older girls and just the rest of my teammates as well.
Nolani, I have one question for you. As this group has gotten in the gym, so many new faces, how competitive has practice been? Have you guys been getting after it? And what has that been like in the trenches for all of you?
Yeah, I don't think Coach Burke would have recruited anybody that isn't competitive. I mean, she wants us to get after it every day. As soon as we step on the court, whether it's while we're who's having the loudest energy during stretching. Everybody's willing to compete. We have our assistant coaches, consistently saying who's going to win every sprint. Anything we do is competitive, and it's just to translate onto the court because we're dogs, and that's what we're trying to show everyone else. So.
Love that. All right, I know we have a couple questions, so we're going to start right here. Please identify yourself.
Joan Bonvicini with Arizona. Coach, how have your previous coaching experiences going to help you as you transition and now you're at Arizona, achieve championships and success? And I have a second question when you're done.
Yeah. Hi, ladies. Thank you. I think just like anything in life, like your previous experiences, you're gonna take good things. You're gonna take things that you need to keep doing. You need to take lessons learned. I don't buy into level so much as your first P4 job. I'm still coaching. I'm still coaching high level players. I'm still coaching the game that I love. I'm still coaching the same game. So I really haven't bought much stock in oh, you haven't been at this level before. I've been at this level as a player. I've had a tremendous amount of success, but ultimately when you coach, you coach. Yes, the players are taller and have more stars next to their names, but I'm taking everything that I would have if I continued at Buffalo this year that I would have taken from last year.
Okay, and what message do you want to send to the Big 12 and to the Wildcat Nation and fans about where this program is headed?
I just want to tell everybody we're coming. In the words of Coach Prime, we coming.
All right, I know we have one more question right up here. Go ahead.
Matthew Postons, Heartland College Sports. So you talked about the fact from a height standpoint, you're a little deficient in that area. Where do you hope to make up for that in terms of being able to be competitive with those teams that have the height that you don't?
I'll be clear. Like, we've got a lot of bigs. They're at home. We've brought some of our guards that are a little bit smaller. But
they're in hiding,
yes,
right?
we do have some height. But I think just collectively across the board, if you just look at, the average height of our guards maybe versus some of these other teams, the way that we need to make up for that is be tougher, be better conditioned, set better screens, have better spacing, be about the controllables, which Lonnie's not getting any taller. I told her that the other day. Unfortunately, she's not. But that kid's heart is 3 times the size of a lot of kids you're going to have up on the stage today. You know what I mean? So, like, we know what we can control. We're going to do our best to control those things, be really good at the categories that we need to be really good at to give ourselves a chance this year. We're very self-aware.
We've got one more question right here. Go ahead. Please identify yourself.
Hannah Hernandez from the University Daily Kansan. How has your team chemistry grown and changed throughout this rebuilding season and having a new head coach and a lot of new players?
I think, just from getting here in the summer until now, I think, Coach Burke plans how she coaches us or what drills we do or what our conditioning is to be able to put us in situations of adversity because, in any season of any year, like, you're going to go through ups and downs. There's going to be bumps in the road. There's going to be adversity. And, like, it's all about how you handle it. How do you come together if you come together? And so on and off the court, we're always, like, she wants us to be player-led. Us three here as leaders, we make sure to hold each other accountable, hold everyone else to the standard that she expects. And so just continuing to build that chemistry together and just being there for each other. So.
Well, we want to welcome all of you here to Kansas City. You'll be back in this building come March for the Big 12 tournament. Thank you so much for being here. We wish you the best of luck all season.
All right, that was your Arizona women's basketball team today at the Big 12 Women's Basketball Media Days. Again, we'll hear from Becky Burke some more tomorrow as they get ready to play Thursday night. 5:45, our coverage begins. Freedom 1400. Derek Palmer back for another year on the call of Arizona women's basketball. They will play West Texas A&M.
Yeah, media, just so you know, like, just because there's some shorter players on the stage doesn't mean that there aren't taller players on the team.
Yeah. Well, they're not that tall, but yeah.
They got 6'3", 6'4", 6'7". Yeah,
6'2", a couple 6'2s. So that's 6. Well, 3. They got 6. Well, Akul Magat is 6'7". From out of South Point Catholic, the transfer from Texas.
Yeah, and Blessing
Tech.
is 6'3", right?
Yeah. So
Addie.
we'll see. We'll see how it all transpires starting on Thursday night. 15 home games. 15 home games in a row if you count the 2 exhibition games and the 13 non-conference games. So they're going to be home for a long time. Plenty of time to see Arizona women's basketball. You can see Dragon Ball if you're watching on one of our video streams, YouTube or Twitch. He's got everything happening in sports here in Southern Arizona as well as sports around the world.
Well, the Cardinals are currently on their bye week, but head coach Jonathan Gannon says it is far too early to determine whether or not Kyler Murray will be back for a potential return to the lineup following the week off as they prepare for Monday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys. But the Cardinals would likely enjoy Murray's return against Dallas. He's 2-0 when playing against the Cowboys in Jerry World, as they like to call it, with 4 touchdowns and no interceptions in those 2 starts. New York Jets owner and former Arizona alumni Woody Johnson seemed to give his voice of confidence for new head coach Aaron Glenn in a recent meeting with the press today following the NFL owners' meetings in New York, going so far as to say he hugs Glenn every day at the facility. But while showing his faith in the new head coach, while stuck in an 0-7 hole to start the year, Johnson seemed to hint that quarterback was the big issue, saying that it is, quote, hard to win when you have a quarterback with the rating that we've got. The Jets try to end their winless start against the Bengals this Sunday. Questions is whether or not Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor will be the starter in that contest. And the World Series matchup is officially set after last night's Game 7 finale out in Toronto.
And for the first time in 32 years, the Blue Jays have won the pennant. He got it! The Blue Jays win the pennant! The Blue Jays win the pennant! They're going to the World Series! No team in the history of the ALCS has lost the first 2 at home and come back to win a 7-game series until now.
The Blue Jays again return to the World Series after almost 3 decades worth of waiting. They come down to 3 games to 2 and take the last 2 games of the series against the Mariners, who now remain the only franchise in MLB history to never grace the World Series. They'll now prepare for the Dodgers with first pitch of Game 1 set for Friday. It will be 5 p.m. to open up the weekend. I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 sports update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Tune in this Monday as Tommy Lloyd and your Arizona Wildcats basketball team play an exhibition game against Embry-Riddle at McHale Center. Coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. on Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Some rush hour slowdowns. Southbound Country Club at 5th, 6th Street, westbound Speedway Boulevard approaching Main Avenue, westbound Grant Road approaching I-10. Also expect some usual busy travel for Alvernon and Grant Road. 66, the overnight low, 89, partly cloudy tomorrow, and 90 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER. Get you out of plumbing danger.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. There's a rumor that summer could finally be coming to an end. A big relief for us, but your car is probably still feeling the effects of the brutal summer heat. So now is the perfect time to stop by any of the 14 area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a complimentary check of your tires, battery, brakes, coolant levels, and wiper blades. And if you're in the market for tires, you'll save big this month on our Arizona-approved collection of tires, like the smooth-riding, long-lasting Michelin Defender 2. With factory rebates and instant savings, you'll get back up to $200. And we've got lots more tires that can tackle Arizona's extremes like BF Goodrich and Uniroyal with big savings right now. Visit jackfurriers.com to check out all the specials. And for fast, friendly service, you can make an appointment online. Call ahead or just drive up and find out why Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the locals' favorite for tires and automotive repair. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no, how bad? When will my AC be fixed?
You know, I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Looking for top-notch lumber and framing? Johnson Manley Lumber has been your trusted expert since 1970, specializing in both residential and commercial projects. Our experienced teams, cutting-edge technology, and reliable supply chain ensure your framing is on time and on budget every time. We're proud to be employee-owned and community-rooted in Tucson. Learn more at johnsonmanley.net. Proud supporter of the University of Arizona radio broadcast. Go Wildcats.
If you have old windows, they are probably driving up your energy bills. Cool things down with energy-efficient windows from the Window Depot. The Window Depot provides unbeatable value and a wide variety of in-stock and custom-order windows to fit your style and budget. Choose from our SI window brand, made in the USA for quality you can trust, or custom order from top manufacturers for a perfect fit. Order online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you. Experience the best prices, the biggest inventory, only at the Window Depot.
Wildcat fans, Arizona football tickets are on sale now.
Join the party at Arizona Stadium all season long as your Arizona Wildcats take on Year 2 in the Big 12. There's nothing better than an Arizona football game day, from the tailgating scene to the action on the field. So bring a friend and get your tickets now by calling 520-621-2287. That's 621-CATS, or by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. And as always, bear down.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
We joked on Monday about how similar the current paths are for both the Arizona Wildcats and the Arizona Cardinals. Both teams not quite being able to find the plays necessary to win games down the stretch. Cardinals, of course, losing 3 straight games on walk-off field goals, losing again on Sunday in a close one at State Farm Stadium to the Green Bay Packers. Wildcats 2 consecutive losses, including a game in double overtime and a walk-off field goal. And now both teams are on their bye weeks at the same time. So a lot of parallels between Arizona football and Arizona Wildcats football and Arizona Cardinals football, although I don't know that the Cardinals are having quite as tough a time stopping running quarterbacks as the Arizona Wildcats are.
Their main issue right now is just keeping their quarterback healthy.
There you go. Kyler Murray has missed 2 games in a row, obviously due to injury. And so we've had Jacoby Brissett. And again, Jacoby's not played poorly. That's the kind of guy that you'd like to have on your roster as your number 2 backup, a guy that's experienced and knows how to win games.
When your starter is oft injured.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea to have a guy who can come in there who's been there, done that behind.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Always good to have a proven starter as a backup.
If you want to have a chance, but unfortunately this team just, at 2-5, it's going to be very, very difficult. I think Calais Campbell talked about it the other day. It's like, we kind of have to maybe win 10 games in a row. And I mean, so that even at that would get you to 12-5. And who knows in today's league if that'll get you there. It should, but that's the kind of situation that they're facing if they want to try to get to the postseason.
What if
2-5?
They lose 5 straight games by 1 possession or less, and then they win 10 straight by 1 possession or less? Wouldn't that be a great story?
That would be an unbelievable story for sure. Unbelievable. Let's hear from the head coach.
Can't even believe it. It's so unbelievable.
Yeah, let's hear from a little bit from Jonathan Gannon on what the Cardinals have planned for this bye week.
Injury front, I think we came out decently clean. So nothing to report on that. Obviously, we got some guys working through some things. Obviously on the bye week here, so each player is a little bit different with how we're treating that, but we do need to get rested up, I think, physically, mentally, emotionally. And I told him today, we got some projects we got going on. Come back in here Monday with a plan of action to get better, coaches and players, and full steam ahead when we get back in here on Monday. What do we got?
Do you expect Kyler to be back after the bye, health-wise?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Keeps trending.
Is there anything planned for the guys this week at all, or they do get the week off?
They're all a little bit different, Craig, depending on their health, their physical bucket, health bucket. So kind of a little bit different, but they do need to get out of here a little bit.
When you say we got projects going on, is that the coaching staff working on stuff?
Coaches and players, yep.
What kind of project are the players working on?
They need to watch the tape and watch themselves and have a plan of action, what they want to work on to get better.
Being that you have the personnel that going back to last year, everybody seems to be healthy on that O-line. But you do have a couple guys that are coming off injury. Will, and then I know Jonah had dealt with injury in the offseason. How do you feel like that group has performed, and how do you want to see them? How can they take that next step?
Yeah, I mean, the basics of offensive line play is move people in the run game, vertically or horizontally and keep the pocket firm. Don't let your guy hit the quarterback. So just like every position, I think steps that we need to take to play a little bit better as a team and as a unit. And they're kind of in that boat.
Coach, do you have a sense of how the players are mentally, emotionally today?
They need to get reset, as positive as you can be after losing how we just lost. But they'll be ready to go on Monday. I know that.
You go to Sean on this last night with the bye last year, obviously stopped the momentum. Here could also stop a different kind of momentum. What can a bye do? Like, how can it reset these guys?
Yeah. When you asked that yesterday, right, Josh? I think you did. I wasn't ready for the question. I kind of smirked. I was like, coming at a great time. You lose 5 in a row. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but you're right. If you believe in momentum, what I do think that it's emotionally the toll of being in, 1-score games for 7 weeks, which is what 70% of the games come down to. So it's not like that's absurd in the NFL. Like, you expect the margins are small for everybody. But I do think it's a good a time to reset here and really focus on some controllables moving forward as it relates to everybody playing a little bit better.
That's the head coach of your Arizona Cardinals. He said something interesting in terms of offensive line play, and how it's really about blocking and moving people. And as I dove in more to the Arizona Wildcats film from Saturday's game, it seemed like I was looking for what's going on with this defense and why they're giving up so many plays in the run game and whatnot. And the thing that they kept after I watched one play after one play after another play after another play, the thing that I really kept coming back to was just how strictly well the Houston offensive line blocked that game for their running back and their quarterback. And head on over to my Twitter account, Wildcats12 or David Kelly 1290. I tweeted out several plays. The first rushing touchdown that Connor Wegman had, literally they blocked everybody. The Wildcats were in a 3-down line. They blocked all 3 down linemen. They double teamed and pushed Tia Savea like 5 yards off the line. Then the tight end, who was a part of that double team, peeled off and sealed Max Harris from the ball carrier. They had a wide receiver out blocking him, Marquise Groves-Killebrew. The running back got out in front and took out one of the linebackers. It was just it was very, very good blocking. And it goes in, and again, we can sit here and talk about scheme and what the Wildcats need to do to be better, and they do need to be better. But there's going to be games when you get into games like that where it's just the scheme on the other side is just so much better and so much more well executed that you might be playing at a pretty high level and you might still get your ass kicked.
That sounds a lot like Kelvin. For the past 10 years. I've been hearing Kelvin. Kelvin is always fight, leave it all on the field. But sometimes in a 1-score loss, what he likes to say is, those guys are good, and they're trying to beat you too, right? Like, there's an element, DK, to going up against a team that's well-coached, disciplined, and sometimes they just block the play perfectly, as you just described. So, yeah, you got to tip your cap sometimes. It doesn't mean that it's not an issue stopping big. You got a 230-pound quarterback back there, which is what they've seen the last couple of weeks in a row. That's definitely something you got to account for. But as far as the game plan for the Houston Cougars and what they were trying to do, you really can't look much further than plays like that. If it's blocked perfectly, it makes it easy for that running back to get chunk yardage.
Yeah, and there was another play that Wegman had another long run in that drive. We talk about that final 8 where the Wildcats couldn't get the 4th and 1, and then they gave the ball back. Houston went down, scored, and then they came out in the second half and scored on that first drive and really were able to kind of take control of the game. And the left tackle literally goes all the way across the field and blocks a linebacker. I'm like, I've seen tackles block at the second level on their side of the line, of the middle of the field, because the ball was in the center of the field. I've not seen a lot of tackles cross over the middle of the field and block somebody else on the other side. That's what Houston did on this one long play, long run by Wegman in the second quarter. I'm like, holy crap. He like literally went over on the other, across the middle of the field to take out Chase Kennedy. And it really wasn't, it was really more of a deflection. Like he got in a way and deflected him enough that Chase Kennedy, who's one of your linebackers, couldn't make a play on Wegman, and he was able to get out for 20 yards. So yeah, the blocking that the Houston Cougars did in that game was really, really good. And I want to see, and in terms of the Wildcats, I just want to see, I don't see a lot of us in our line getting out to that second level and being able to make blocks like that. Getting out to the second level is so important in the run game. And I need to see more of that from our offensive line. And if we can get to that point, we might be able to start to really open up things for Ishmael Mahdi and Kedrick Reesano and Quincy Craig in Arizona's running game. 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. Let's get you your Cardinals, your Carolina Panthers report for today.
This Panther Update is brought to you by UNC Charlotte.
Last week it was buckle up. This week it was seatbelts on. I'm Anae Schroff with this Panthers Update.
Charlotte's momentum has a name, UNC Charlotte. 32,000 students strong, ranked among the nation's top 75 public universities, recognized at the highest level for research, unmatched access to Fortune 500 companies, built for a top-tier city. This isn't typical higher ed. The difference is scale. The difference is momentum. The difference is Charlotte, UNC Charlotte.
Carolina defensive back J.C. Horn makes a seatbelt gesture after making a big play. He made a few of them on Sunday. Horn picked off 2 passes and was part of a defense that kept the Jets out of the end zone. His head coach, Dave Canales.
Yeah, clutch play. Just do right longer, being in position, and then just the ball skills, to be able to come up with the catches on those, as a dominant receiver on those plays, where all of a sudden the ball's up and he's bigger and faster and he's got great hands, and just to be able to, come through for his teammates in those situations, giving us a chance to end the game on the second drive to last. But then just, Mike Jack coming up with some clutch plays as well to give us one more shot to get a first down and end it.
On the offensive side, the breakout star was Xavier Legette, who set career highs in receptions and receiving yards and made a crucial 33-yard reception to seal the game late. Andy the snap, back to throw, launches deep downfield. Legette and just makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. It's been a career game for Xavier Legette. I'm Anae Schroff on the Carolina Panthers Radio Network.
This Panther Update has been brought to you by UNC Charlotte, built for a top-tier city. The difference is Charlotte, UNC Charlotte.
All right, Carolina Panthers this Sunday, you'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290 as they'll take on the Buffalo Bills. Big game for them. They've been playing really well, over 500, and the Bills are kind of stumbling a little bit, coming off their bye. Can they get them things together? And the game's down in Charlotte, so great opportunity for the Panthers and Teto McMillan, Lathan Ransom and company to beat one of the best teams in the league and continue this stretch, which would give them a 4th consecutive win if they could get it. So that would be fun to see. No international game this week. So we'll have Carolina Panthers coverage beginning at 9 o'clock with the pregame show, 10 o'clock kickoff right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. All right, let's talk some more about Arizona football coming up. We'll break it down with Glenn Howe next, as we do after every game. DK on the sports tip, 520-848-1290 is the number. Cricket is getting you home every 12 minutes, 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Some roadwork Country Club at I-10. That's a big widening project, and Country Club Road is closed under I-10 for approximately a year, and more road work at Ajo and Keno. Traffic on Ajo west of Keno down to 1 lane daily, and also restrictions for Keno at Ajo Way. And I'm Cricket, and your weather, 66 the low. There's a 20% chance of rain around 5 a.m. tomorrow. 89 partly cloudy tomorrow and 89 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Starbucks.
The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks.
Handcrafted with their signature espresso
and real pumpkin sauce.
Ooh. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon,
and nutmeg.
PSL. Get it while it's hot.
Or iced. Only at Starbucks.
Big color, bigger savings. It's Sherwin-Williams' biggest super sale. Get 40% off paints and stains October 17th through the 27th with prices starting at $29.39. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
So hot. I can help you.
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought. This AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Wildcat fans, Arizona football tickets are on sale now. Join the party at Arizona Stadium all season long as your Arizona Wildcats take on year 2 in the Big 12. There's nothing better than an Arizona football game day, from the tailgating scene to the action on the field. So bring a friend and get your tickets now by calling 520-621-2287. That's 621-CATS, or by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. And as always, bear down.
There are many reasons you might need Dorado Rockin' Materials. A few bare spots in the yard, the driveway needs filling in, or it could be that the yard needs a whole makeover. Whatever the reason, if your yard has the summertime blues, Dorado Rockin' Materials has everything from sand to boulders and every rock and pebble in between. If you need help spreading it, we have options for that too. Call 400-4233. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Hey, it's Mrs. HVAC. If you're anything like me, a mom, a wife, and maybe a little bit crazy about the air I breathe and the water I drink, then listen up. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing has you in mind with our home wellness check. That's 3 visits a year to make sure your AC is happy, your plumbing isn't plotting against you, and your water isn't secretly weird. We'll even test your water quality because you deserve spa water, not swamp vibes. Let's keep your home sane, even if you're not. Call us today or book online at picturerockscooling.com.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. The UCLA women's basketball team is ranked 3rd to start the new college basketball season. The Bruins are coming off their first Final Four appearance in program history, and they return a loaded roster to Westwood. On the floor, they'll be led by senior center Lauren Betts, who is the reigning National Defensive Player of the Year. She'll be joined once again by veteran point guard Kiki Rice, who just had her 3rd straight season with over 100 assists. UCLA head coach Corey Close is heading into her 15th season on the job.
It's probably the best summer I've had with a group in 32 years of coaching. They love being together. They love being in the gym. They love getting better. I think I enjoyed it probably even more than they did, so it was great.
Third-ranked UCLA tips off their season on November 3rd against San Diego State. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Olivia Harlan-Decker on Westwood One.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
At Ulta Beauty, the season of giving and treating yourself starts now. Get in the gifting spirit with limited edition kits from Sol de Janeiro, Tarte, and Moroccan Oil. Make every morning festive with advent calendars from Benefit Cosmetics and Drybar. These holiday exclusives won't last long. Make the season yours and head to Ulta Beauty today. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
Wildcat fans, Arizona football tickets are on sale now. Join the party at Arizona Stadium all season long as your Arizona Wildcats take on year 2 in the Big 12. There's nothing better than an Arizona football game day, from the tailgating scene to the action on the field. So bring a friend and get your tickets now by calling 520-621-2287. That's 621-CATS, or by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. And as always, bear down.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Bear down, Wildcats fans. Wildcats Radio 1290 is proud to bring you all of the football insights from our Arizona Insiders. Our Arizona Insiders are brought to you by Modelo, brewed for full-time Cats fans. Modelo, an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics.
Wigman on a quarterback run, left side, over the 35, over the 40, breaks another tackle to midfield, near side of the 45, down to the 40, and finally out of bounds. Well, Wigman has taken over this game now, running the ball for Houston.
Yeah, Wigman, Connor, everybody named Connors, they all kind of took over the game on Saturday. Breaking down Arizona Wildcat football, U of A falls 31-28 on a walk-off field goal to the Houston Cougars. Joined as always by Glenn Howe, U of A football class of 1985. Glenn, have you figured out how we stop the run and how we stop, in particular, the quarterback run moving forward?
Well, I like to see a switch to a 4-3 and get somebody in there, and this 3-3 stack.
3-3-5, the famed 3-3-5 stack.
3-5, yeah. I'd like to see that 4-3 maybe. And then also, just watching the film again, we were so far away from the second level was so far away from the line of scrimmage, which was kind of perplexing that they didn't have more guys in the box. But but we'll see what they do. He's got a week to do it and to get it straight, and I'm sure that Coach G will figure it out.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that, Glenn. I tweeted a number of things out. Just at times, the second level was 5-6 yards off the play when the ball carrier is passing the line of scrimmage. I mean, if you're 5 yards away when the guy's at the line of scrimmage, he's damn gonna get 5 yards for sure, and potentially more.
Yeah, absolutely. I noticed that going into the second, third quarter. I was like, man, we got to get closer to the line of scrimmage. We're just a little bit off the ball. And you know what? He can look at that, evaluate that, and then get in there and change it. We got to change it, because if we are not able to stop the run, we're going to have a tough time winning these next few games.
We're chatting with Glenn Howell. It is Wildcat Breakdown. He's our Arizona Insider, brought to you by Modelo. Modelo is brewed for full-time Cats fans. Modelo is official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Another thing that stuck out to me, Glenn, when I was watching the tape, was just how well Houston blocked in that game. In the last segment, I was just talking about the first touchdown run by Wegman that made the score 14-14. They literally had everybody blocked up on that play. The Wildcats, you mentioned, were in a 3-down lineman. They down blocked all 3 linemen. They double teamed Tia Savea and pushed him out of there. The tight end was one of the guys on the double. He peels off and seals Max Harris. The wide receiver takes out MGK, so he can't make a play. The running back goes down into the box and seals off Tay Brown. I mean, they literally, and then there was another play later on with the highlight we played at the top there, where Wigman got out on a 20-yard run. The left tackle comes across the center of the field to seal off Chase Kennedy. I mean, and I mentioned I've seen tackles that will block at the second level on their side of the field. I've not seen a lot of tackles that will cross over to the other side and block somebody. I mean, that's how efficient Houston was in the run game.
Well, obviously they were coached very well, and you go through your keys. You're uncovered. You don't see anybody. You keep on going down to the next level until you hit somebody. And that's what they do. Some guys will just stay around there and just hang out, but you got to get all the way across. They just block the way they're supposed to block. Double team get up on the linebackers. Butt to butt, their shoulders are square. And you look at our offensive line, and we did the same thing. There was a couple of times, I think, on our side of the ball, our tight ends did pretty good, but sometimes the Barmore, I mean, he's young guy he's not a young guy, but he's a guy that hasn't probably really blocked very much, but he just needed to stay on his block a little longer. And one of the times the tackle was telling him, Tristan was telling him, hey, man, you got to stay on a little longer.
Right.
You could see it on the
I remember that play.
film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he said you got to stay on him a little longer, man, because he just hasn't got that. But once they start getting that, they have initial great double team, but you got to stay up, move the guy off the line of scrimmage, and then you come off. Until that guy is secured on the line of scrimmage, you don't move to the next level.
Well, and you mentioned Cameron Barmore, who's obviously been thrown into the mix now with the exit of Kean Burnett. And honestly, I thought he played extremely well in that game, both blocking. I mean, obviously, maybe that was one instance where he didn't get it done, but he also had some really good blocks, I thought, in the contest, and obviously was able to catch a nice ball on a 3rd down play. He's played extremely well the last 2 games. I mean, when you looked at, I think it was the second series, he had Ishmael Mahdi had a really big run, and it was literally him, Ty Buchanan, and Chuba were the ones that opened up that hole for Ishmael Mahdi. So he's had some really, really good blocks so far.
Yeah, he's learning his keys of what he has to do on double teams, understanding where the placement of the hands, where his hat is, and is getting butt to butt and moving the guy off the line of scrimmage. But you just got to be able to secure that guy. And actually what you can do, what I used to do with some of my tackles, is that you can secure that guy so far that you don't really have to go up to the next level because the guy's blown out, and the guy has no room to run. The linebacker has no room to run. So you could do that, but the initial force is on the first guy on the line of scrimmage. Soon as that, and one of the times that he didn't get the guy on the line of scrimmage, and he made the tackle. So those are the kind of things that you have to really work on. And I think that our tight ends coach has done a great job of just really developing him into a better blocker. Because I'm sure catching 100 balls, he did not do any blocking.
Exactly. Well, and Seth came out last week and said that we weren't sure if he was going to be able to get that piece coming in here in the spring, if he was going to be able to be an effective blocker in this scheme. But he showed that he can do that. At least I've been impressed with some of the things that I've seen. He had that big seal on the run by Kedrick Reesino in the game against BYU for the touchdown. So he's been able to get it done on a number of instances over the course of the last 2 weeks. He's, like you said, he's just got to continue to rep it and shore it up, which he'll do. But the future looks bright there for him, for sure. Glenn Howell joining us. He is our Arizona Insider, brought to you by Modelo. Modelo is brewed for you. It's brewed for full-time Cats fans. Modelo is an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Glenn, I want to flip back over to the defensive side of the ball. One thing I'm seeing with the line, and I don't know that this makes any difference or not, but the way but we've seen it a lot this year, I think, for the first time, where a lot of the guys on the front are standing up versus having their hand on the ground. At times, like when they run that down four, Tia might be the only guy with his hand on the ground. All the other guys are standing up. Does that make much of a difference in getting leverage at the line of scrimmage, whether you're standing up off the snap versus starting with your hand on the ground?
Well, I think that what they're trying to do is create a confusion for the center to make the calls and calling out the numbers of the guys. I think that's what they're trying to do. So they're not getting a set position. You're not in a straight 3 or a 4 or a 5 technique. I think that's what they're trying to do. But they're really not doing very well at that, because they're not making too much confusion where the guys are missing blocks and doing anything. I like to see their hand on the ground, me personally, and then they can play their gaps and being able to put some hands on these linemen, because when you're standing up, you get a bigger surface and it's hard for you to get any leverage on that.
Yeah, it's easy, I guess, for the defense. You can kind of move guys around, and it's harder to figure out where the stunts are coming from. But what did you make of what Spencer Tillman said on the broadcast, just about how they're just attacking the soft spots and the gaps? That's all they were doing. They were looking at the soft spots and attacking in those areas.
Absolutely. As soon as they saw it, they would see that there was nobody in that area, because the guy our safety was coming up, was walking up, and they just attacked it. And when you're 5 to 6 yards off, man, you're getting 5 to 6 yards. You get past the first line of scrimmage of the first level of players, you're running for days. So that's what they were doing. They did a great job of doing that, and we just got to load the box a little bit more. I think that, Button Salmon's going to be in the doggone box next week, man. I mean, we're going to have everybody in there, So, I mean, we got to get some people in there, man, because that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to shove it down our throats.
Glenn Howell's our guest. He's our Arizona Insider. It's Wildcat Breakdown. We'll talk some more with him about Arizona's 31-28 loss, the bye week, what the Wildcats need to be working on as they approach these final 5 games. It starts with a game next Saturday, a week from Saturday, in Colorado. Still do not have a start time on that. Won't know that until Sunday. Well, more with Glenn Howell coming up. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions that are reported Ruthroff near I-10 on Ruthroff to the east of I-10. Thornydale and McGee and Thornydale. Tancaverde and Camino Principal also crash Park Avenue to the north of I-10. We've got about a 20% chance of rain around 5 a.m. tomorrow. 60 overnight low, 89 partly cloudy tomorrow, and 88 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Rooter Ranger 24/7 Plumbing, Sewer, and Drains. For fast, affordable plumbing and emergency drain services, call Rooter Ranger and get out of plumbing danger. RooterRanger.com.
888-7-RANGER. Get you out of plumbing danger.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong. You are fearless. You are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory. Force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
At Ulta Beauty, the season of giving and treating yourself starts now. Get in the gifting spirit with limited edition kits from Sol de Janeiro, Tarte, and Moroccan Oil. Make every morning festive with advent calendars from Benefit Cosmetics and Drybar. These holiday exclusives won't last long. Make the season yours and head to Ulta Beauty today. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no, how bad? When will my AC be fixed?
You know, I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air-conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Wildcat fans, Arizona football tickets are on sale now. Join the party at Arizona Stadium all season long as your Arizona Wildcats take on year 2 in the Big 12. There's nothing better than an Arizona football game day, from the tailgating scene to the action on the field. So bring a friend and get your tickets now by calling 520-621-2287. That's 621-CATS, or by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. And as always, bear down.
I come from a low-income family, and as a first-generation college student, it was difficult for me to navigate the way. Hughes Federal Credit Union and Earn to Learn provided a pathway for me to learn valuable budgeting and financial education. I am currently a graduate student in public health and helping my younger siblings with their college paths.
Find out how Hughes and Earn to Learn join forces to support student success at hughesfcu.org/earn-to-learn. Insured by MCUA. Certain restrictions apply.
JT Auto, where their customers are family. Stop by their newest East Side location, conveniently located at 6947 East 22nd, just west of Cole. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where their customers are family. 372-7704. That's 372-7704. Or JTAutoAZ.com.
Hey, it's Mrs. HVAC. If you're anything like me, a mom, a wife, and maybe a little bit crazy about the air I breathe and the water I drink, then listen up. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing has you in mind with our home wellness check. That's 3 visits a year to make sure your AC is happy, your plumbing isn't plotting against you, and your water isn't secretly weird. We'll even test your water quality because you deserve spa water, not swamp vibes. Let's keep your home sane, even if you're not. Call us today or book online at picturerockscooling.com.
This is Zach Gelb with a Sports Minute sponsored by Staybill. And every fill-up or when you store, start with Staybill. Visit sta-bil.com for more information. Death, taxes, and George Springer coming through in the clutch. And you saw that last night in an ALCS Game 7 victory when Springer hit a 3-run shot that helped launch the Blue Jays to advance to the World Series. And with the Blue Jays' next opponent being the Big Bad Dodgers, who would have thought I'd be referring to the Toronto Blue Jays as now America's team? I'm Zach Gelb.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wildcat Breakdown. Analyzing Arizona's 31-28 loss to the Houston Cougars, second loss in a row. Drops UVA to 4-3 on the season, 1-3 in the Big 12 Conference. Joined as always by Glenn Howe, UVA football class of 1985. Glenn, before we turn our attention mostly to the offense, one more thing on the defense. We were looking at that screenplay that got away, really not even a screenplay, really more just a dump down pass to the running back in the second quarter that got away from the Wildcats. What did you see as what happened with that? It looked like the Wildcats just got caught in a blitz. I couldn't really tell who was responsible for the running back, but it was probably one of the linebackers that was involved in the blitz, and that guy just got out.
Yeah, I mean, you looked at that play, and it was just like a shotgun, double barrel shotgun blitz. You know, with the two inside linebackers coming, and you look at Julian Sabanea.
Yeah, right. He kind of was the one that kind of bounced back out.
He stepped back out, and then that's not a good matchup right there. You know, he has to chase that guy, and he's already 5-10 yards away from him. That's not a good matchup. They just caught us in a bad situation, you know, and that happens. That's football. That's what happens. They countered with something we thought we had. If he would have held down to that ball just another half a second, he would have got sacked.
Yeah.
So it's just that we just got caught in the wrong blitz.
And, you look at the offense of Glenn, and we talked a lot about the red zone and the loss to BYU, but 3 for 3 in the red zone, 3 touchdowns. And I liked some of the creativity. I liked the play. I've said before, you got to get the ball to Trey Spivey. They didn't throw it to him, but they handed it off to him, which was a really nice play to take advantage. He's got some speed to the edge. And then I like that little, just kind of a little short route to Luke Wysong. And boy, did he put his foot in the ground and make that defensive back look silly on that play.
Yeah, and if you look at that play, the guy was playing off of him, and he just cut down his route and then let him make a play. Those guys are 1-on-1. That guy has to make a tackle. I like the creativity of that. I mean, we were 3 for 3, which was really good. I was really happy with that. And then we got to just continue to get better on that. If we get better on the inside the 20, I think we're going to win some more games. We're going to win some more games with that. But if we continue to not score touchdowns, because we can't afford that. We can't afford when we're inside the 20. We got to score touchdowns.
It's interesting, Glenn. We talk about, obviously, the Wildcats were susceptible to the quarterback running the football. I've never been a huge proponent of the quarterback having to run the football. But I think, in today's game, there's some times when you probably need to do that a lot more. Do you think that Noah, and in particular with the zone read, when we look at that 4th and 1 where he could have pulled it out and ran it himself, do you think at times he's reluctant to do that he wants to obviously leave it to his running backs? And I thought it was interesting. They went 2 for 3 on 4th down. They basically ran the same play all 3 of those times, and they were successful the other 2 times. They just, like Brent said, they missed the block, and it was hard to tell who that. I think it might have actually been Wysong that might have missed the block there. I think on the 4th and 1.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be able to. I don't think Noah does the zone read enough to where he's comfortable, because you got to get in the groove of doing that. Because you look at this guy that was for Houston, I'm sure he'd done that a billion times, okay? Because you could tell the way he was doing it. He was actually doing just a straight read on a run. So they're using it. And, Noah's not the biggest guy, so we don't want him running up in there.
Right, yeah.
So I think that, he's got to make some better selections, and, I'm sure he will. I'm sure he looks at that film and says, man, I should have went on that one. But you know what? That happens. I think Noah's playing really good. I think he's doing being a great leader on that team. I think he's just trying his best. These guys are playing hard. We've got a good team, guys. I think we have a good team. We have they play hard. They don't give up. They don't panic when you're down. You come back, and I just think that this team needs a couple breaks, man. They're going to get, sometimes these teams they just need breaks.
In terms of the special teams in this last game, not a lot. Obviously, no field goal attempts in the game. Ian did kick one out of bounds. First time we've seen him do that this season. But Isaac Loveson dropped a punt inside the 5-yard line. Like to see that. But he actually had two inside the 20. The first one was on the 20, so he doesn't really get credit for that. But two kicks inside the 20, which is what I like to see. And we saw a couple of good kick returns in that game. We haven't seen a lot of kick returns for Arizona, but Nunu was able to pop one out, and they had another one as well in that ball game, which they were able to get 20-plus yards. That's all you can ask for in the kick return game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to be a bigger factor on these next couple of games. We got to get a play. Like I said, we got to get a break on one of these phases of the game. We got to get a break on the special teams where we can break one. Get a 40, 50-yard return that puts us in great position where we can score. So I think these guys are playing hard. The coaches are coaching hard. Just Tucson needs to be just aware that we have a good team. We have a good team that just is going to. They're on the cusp of really getting some good wins. Yeah,
they when you talk about especially the return game, you're starting to get into that time of the year, and you might go to some places where the weather is, just kind of thinking about. I was watching that USC Notre Dame game the other night. It's fall. It's raining. Yeah, and the ball doesn't travel as far, so there's going to be more opportunities for potential returns in both the punt and the return games when you go to places like Colorado, when you go to places like Cincinnati where the weather might not be as good. But it makes you appreciate, I was watching that SC game, it makes you appreciate having a guy like Ian Wagner who can kick it out every time, watching Notre Dame take one back to the house, a kick return that obviously turned that game in the Irish's favor on Saturday night. Glenn, as always, we appreciate you. Enjoy your week off. We'll look forward to, once we get a kick time in Colorado, to seeing you a week from Saturday.
All right, Dave. Bear down.
Nobody brings you the inside scoop on your Arizona Wildcats like we do. Today's Arizona Insiders are brought to you by Modelo, brewed for full-time Cats fans. Modelo, an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics.
All right, time now for your Casino del Sol replay, brought to you by Casino del Sol. It is award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, golf, all of that out at Casino del Sol. Had a chance to chat with Anna Heath, one of the seniors on Arizona Volleyball's squad. They've won 3 in a row, coming into a difficult week against Iowa State and ASU, and had a chance to kind of just ask Anna about, playing opposite, some of the things that goes into that, and some of the things that she's learned as well about playing defense on this, and how missing the NCAA tournament last year really has helped propel this team into this season.
Yeah, so obviously there was a huge disappointment when we were watching the selection show and our team wasn't called, but after that, Rita was like, we're going to the NIVC, and her and Ryan just talked about how teams that have ended up winning it in the past have ended up being in a good spot to make it into the tournament. So it was really just about putting ourselves in that position and also playing a little bit longer for that team chemistry and just ending on that good note. And then obviously carrying it into the off season, being like, okay, this is what we need to work on, and here are the things that we need to do to get to where we want to be.
We're chatting with Anna Heath, senior, Arizona volleyball. She's in opposite, which means she hits on the front row. You mentioned, and you're the second person, I think, in the last couple of days that's mentioned assistant coach Ryan Windish. What kind of is his role with the team and getting you guys to where you want to be?
Right. So he is our defensive coach. Okay. So he's in charge of our blocking and defense and kind of our back row and what that looks like. We all love Ryan. His volleyball knowledge and just the way he sees the game is amazing. And I think we all appreciate that, especially I appreciate him coming from the men's game also, and just like sometimes he'll implement a little bit of the men's game into the women's game, especially with blocking and just things like that. So it's a different look than kind of what we're used to. But overall, it's just his volleyball knowledge and the way he sees the game we love.
How would you categorize what those differences are from maybe some of the things you guys are utilizing about how the men play versus maybe traditionally how women would play?
Right. So for me, I've mainly heard him from a blocking standpoint, and just the way he talks about taking up space or our hand positioning on the block, for me, is just a different way than I've heard it in the past from other coaches. So that's kind of the main difference there for me, just like the technical side behind blocking.
That is your Casino del Sol replay for today, brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf. Anna Heath and the Wildcats will take on Arizona State at home this Saturday, 6 o'clock at McHale Center. Get your tickets now for that game. I forgot to ask Anna. She had one of the best plays of last season. It was a save. I think it was like the second match of the year where she literally went running down into the back of the bench area and dove to save a ball on, I think it was second touch, that the Wildcats were able to get over and win the point. It was just a fabulous, fabulous play. I meant to ask her about that. I totally forgot, so I have to do that next time.
You've done one of them, Dragon Ball, right? Like diving into the bench to get a second touch.
It's one of those moments where doing a couple of those games in NAU, it's very scary, particularly when you're on like a little when you pull out the spare picnic table to set up your stuff. And that was when we were just doing it for the high school team. We didn't do it for the NAU team. So sometimes you have like 16-year-old girls just running around, and they're not aware that you're there as much as they're watching the ball. So that's not a great spot to be.
If you're around a volleyball, keep your head on a swivel because that ball's always live.
Yes.
All right, that's going to wrap up our show. Thanks to Anna Heath. Thanks to Glenn Howe. Happening tonight in Tucson up at Pima Soccer, women's soccer. Kendra Vela is the head coach of the women's team, going for win number 500. Going to head up there and check that out. We'll have information on how that, I think they'll probably win that game, goes for you coming up on tomorrow's show. We'll be back at 3 o'clock for Dragon Ball and J-Dub and Cricket. I'm David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great rest of your evening. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. Collisions reported Speedway in Rosemont. Rosemont and Speedway reported as a motorcyclist involved. Other collisions, Ruthroff east of I-10, Tanque Verde and Camino Principal, Park Avenue north of I-10, also Thornydale and McGee. 20% chance of rain around 5 a.m. and 89 tomorrow. And that's your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Superstar Car Wash.
Superstar Car Wash, the car wash with superpowers. Sign up for a free car wash today. That's right, totally free for a limited time. Because we love what makes you shine. See website for details.
From offices and warehouses to retail spaces and restaurants, the right lighting transforms your environment. At Arizona Commercial Lighting, we've been proudly locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years. Our extensive inventory of in-stock lighting solutions is designed to meet both commercial and residential needs, with quality, variety, and value you won't find anywhere else. Visit us at 1436 East 17th Street or explore our offerings online at azcommerciallighting.com. Be sure to ask about available TEP rebates. Arizona Commercial Lighting, powering business through precision lighting.
Basketball season is here. Tune in this Thursday, October 23rd, as Becky Burke leads your Arizona Wildcats against the West Texas A&M Lady Buffs. Coverage begins at 5:45 p.m. on our sister station, Freedom 1400.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
Wildcat fans, Arizona football tickets are on sale now. Join the party at Arizona Stadium all season long as your Arizona Wildcats take on year 2 in the Big 12. There's nothing better than an Arizona football game day, from the tailgating scene to the action on the field. So bring a friend and get your tickets now by calling 520-621-2287. That's 621-CATS, or by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB. And as always, bear down.
There are many reasons you might need Dorado Rockin' Materials. A few bare spots in the yard. The driveway needs filling in. Or it could be that the yard needs a whole makeover. Whatever the reason, if your yard has the summertime blues, Dorado Rockin' Materials has everything from sand to boulders and every rock and pebble in between. If you need help spreading it, we have options for that too. Call 400-4233. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Here's your shot at winning $1,000. It's $5K a day on Wildcats Radio 1290. Text the national keyword GOOD right now to 95819. That's GOOD to 95819. We'll text you back to confirm your entry. Data and message rates may apply. Please don't text and drive.
Your shot at $5K a day is happening now. Listen for the national keyword 5 times each weekday. Then text the keyword to 95819. 5 winners, $1,000 each. $5K a day.
Kick off your week with Wildcats Radio 1290 for Modelo Mondays from 6 to 7 p.m. at Union Public House. Enjoy a refreshing Modelo, spin to win prizes, and more. Sponsored by Modelo, brewed for full-time Cats fans, an official partner of Arizona Athletics.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
You're listening to the JR Sport Brief.
It is the JR Sport Brief Show here on the Infinity Sports Network. I'm coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you so much to everybody tuned in, locked in all over North America. Thank you so much to our producer in New York City, holding it down on the boards, Ryan Botcher. This show gets started every weekday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. You can always listen on the free Odyssey app. You can lock in on your local Infinity Sports Network affiliate. If you got Sirius XM, it's channel 375. And if you got a smart speaker, be smart. Ask it to play the Infinity Sports Network. We've discussed a lot. We talked about Game 1 of the World Series going down this Friday in Toronto, Canada, as the Blue Jays host the Dodgers. Thank you so much to Kyle Glazer for joining us from MLB.com, as well as the Foul Territory Network. And then, of course, we talked about something that came back today.